The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. 8 people in hospital after an LPG explosion. And the Way Forward Valley Boys talking about the disappointing performances on Bay Street. Those headlines are all straight ahead this morning. I'm Chester Robards, filling in for Dwight Strachan for another day, and this is Morning Blend.
It's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Monday, December. Again, I'm Chester Robards. In a moment, DeAndre Cartwright will be joining us. But first, it's time for the overnight, the latest breaking news from while you were sleeping in the top national and international headlines this morning.
Wake up, wake up.
And in the overnight, 3 children were among the injured people in that LPG explosion. 8 people, including those 3 children, were rushed to hospital after an explosion on Blue Hill Road South in New Providence yesterday. That occurred as a liquefied petroleum gas truck was filling a tank at a home. Police Superintendent Damaris Umbrister, the chief fire officer, said police received reports of the explosion around 4 p.m. and responded with 2 units. Officers discovered that one home experienced extensive damage and nearby buildings were also damaged by the blast. He said, quote, "What we can say at this time is a fuel truck, an LPG truck. They were refueling an LPG tank when an explosion occurred." He said 2 of the people taken to the hospital work for the LPG company while the others are residents of the home. And Way Forward Valley Boys Executive Board member Devin Jones said yesterday that while the group was happy with its performance in the Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade in light of the absence of funding and sponsorship, the Valley Boys split led to a disappointing performance for the group that was judged as the Valley Boys. The Saxons were exceptional, they did extremely well, and they deserve it. But imagine we did what we did with 0 government funding, we didn't have a title sponsor, we weren't even sure we were going to rush until two weeks ago. All this was done to try to get our members to defect, and nobody left. And lawyers for former Bahama developer Sarkis Ismailian have accused China Construction America of painting a one-sided and incomplete picture of the ongoing litigation between CCA and Ismailian's company, BML Properties Limited, when CCA filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection earlier this month. In documents filed in the U.S. Bankruptcy Court in New Jersey on Friday, counsel said a motion and a first-day pleading filed to support CCA's bankruptcy filing tellingly left out a 74-page post-trial decision which set out a New York Supreme Court's reasoning behind a $1.6 billion judgment against CCA in favor of BMLP. It says, quote, as the decision explains, the litigation in New York arose from a scheme by CCA and its nominal affiliates to defraud and loot LP in connection with developing the Bahama Resort Complex in the Bahamas, the filing by law firm Gibbons PC said. And Prime Minister Philip Davis yesterday remembered former U.S. President Jimmy Carter as a champion for kindness who sought to make the world a better place. Carter was the 39th President of the United States. He died yesterday at his home in Plains, Georgia. He was 100 years old. And a mortician who admitted to breaking into a takeaway on Christmas Eve was on Friday fined to pay compensation to his victims. Kelvon Bain, 22, pleaded guilty to the offense of shopbreaking at his arraignment before senior magistrate Anishka Isaacs. Around 4 a.m. on the day in question, police were called to Georgia's takeaway on Carmichael Road after a witness saw a man with a crowbar at the back of the establishment. The responding officers met Bain on the scene. The business's western door had been pried open, but Bain wasn't able to steal anything. In news overseas, South Korean officials said Monday they will conduct a safety inspection of all Boeing 737-800 aircraft operated by the country's airlines as they struggle to determine what caused the plane crash that killed 179 people a day earlier. Sunday's crash, the country's worst aviation disaster in decades, triggered an outpouring of national sympathy. Many people worry how effectively the South Korean disaster as it grapples with a leadership vacuum following the recent successive impeachments of President Yoon Suk-yeol and Prime Minister Han Duck-soo. The country's top two officials, amid political tumult caused by Yoon's brief imposition of martial law earlier this month. New acting President Choi Sang-mok on Monday presided over a task force meeting on the crash and instructed authorities to conduct an emergency review of the country's aircraft operating systems. Choi said, quote, the essence of a responsible response would be renovating the aviation safety systems on the whole to prevent recurrences of similar incidents and building a safer Republic of South Korea. And Azerbaijan's President Ilham Aliyev said Sunday that the Azerbaijani aircraft that crashed last week was shot down by Russia, albeit unintentionally, and criticized Moscow for trying to hush up the issue for days. We can say with complete clarity, he said, that the plane was shot down by Russia. We are not saying that it was done intentionally, but it was done. Aliyev said that the airliner, which crashed Wednesday in Kazakhstan, was hit by fire from the ground over Russia and rendered uncontrollable by electronic warfare. He hushed up the issue for several days, saying he was upset and surprised by versions of events put forward by Russian officials. He said, quote, unfortunately, for the first 3 days, we heard nothing from Russia except delirious versions. The crash killed 38 of 67 aboard. The Kremlin said that air defense systems were firing near Grozny, the regional capital of the Russian Republic of Chechnya, where the plane attempted to land to deflect a Ukrainian drone strike. Aliyev said Azerbaijan made 3 demands to Russia in connection with the crash. Let's take a look at sports now. And Bahamian professional baseball player Jazz Chisholm Jr. was in elite company all year, and his many accomplishments in 2024 has enabled him to earn the honor of the Nassau Guardians Senior Male Athlete of the Year. Chisholm was already having a breakthrough year for the Miami Marlins, and then after being traded to the New York Yankees, he really took off, showing that he is not bothered by the bright lights and huge expectations that come with playing in the Big Apple, particularly for one of the more recognizable brands in professional sports. Among the Nassau Guardians' 3-member voting panel, Chisholm was a unanimous selection, finishing with 60 points in the voting process. The 26-year-old Bahamian star ended the regular season with a .256 batting average, with 24 home runs, 73 RBIs, 40 stolen bases, and 74 runs scored, all career highs. He finished 3rd in the American League and 6th in the Major League Baseball majors in stolen bases. And the Tucci Orange Bowl Regatta at the Coral Reef Yacht Club in Miami, Florida, held December 26th to 30th, showcases a number of Bahamian youth sailors in action, competing in the second largest youth regatta globally. These sailors are navigating large competitive fleets. The regatta features co-ed competition in ILCA 4 and ILCA 6 classes. And the Battle of the Ballers baseball tournament is set to take place at the Andre Rogers National Baseball Stadium from January 3rd to the 4th. This event promises an exciting competition for baseball enthusiasts, open to players ages 14 and up, sponsored by Gulfstream Petroleum and Energy, FTLE, and S-Ball. The tournament offers a cash prize, adding an extra incentive for players and teams to participate. The competition will follow a double elimination format, ensuring every team has at least 2 opportunities to compete before being eliminated. Teams must consist of 12 players each, and organizers are encouraging local and regional talent to form squads and enter the fray. In sports overseas, the Japanese superstar Shohei Ohtani is keeping elite company. He's the 2024 Associated Press Male Athlete of the Year for the 3rd time, tying him with basketball great Michael Jordan. He trails only 4-time winners Lance Armstrong, Tiger Woods, and LeBron James. Ohtani said through a translator, Matt Hidaka, in an exclusive interview with AP, "I'm very honored. Obviously, all the hard work has paid off. Maybe next year I'll get the award again." In balloting by 74 sports journalists from the AP and its members, Ohtani received 48 votes. He previously won the award in 2023 and 2021 when he was with the Angels. Growing up in Japan, Ohtani said, "I did follow Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods. I would see their accolades and how they were successful in the United States." That's a look at sports and a look at the overnight. Your first look at weather is up next. And in your look at weather, a Low-level trough near the northwestern islands continues to move east across the central Bahamas, producing isolated showers and cloudy conditions. The trough is expected to dissipate later today. A weak cold front will move near the northern islands, producing a few isolated showers over that area before dissipating. A second cold front is expected to move into the northern Bahamas by late Tuesday or early Wednesday and quickly move through the island chain. High pressure will build behind the front on Thursday, supporting fresh to moderate breezes and cooler temperatures. Beachgoers and swimmers are urged to abstain from entering the waters along Atlantic shorelines and should exercise caution while visiting local eastern-facing coastal beaches due to the risk of hazardous rip currents and the presence of locally rough surf in those areas. For the northern Bahamas, weather cloudy, 20 to 30% chance of showers. Winds southerly at 10 to 15 knots, occasionally falling to less than 10 knots. Your high temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 70 degrees. For the northwest Bahamas, weather mostly cloudy, becoming partly cloudy by tonight. A 20% chance of showers. Winds southerly at 10 to 15 knots, occasionally falling to less than 10 knots. Your high temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 70 degrees. And for the central Bahamas, partly cloudy, becoming variably cloudy tonight. A 10 to 20% chance of a passing shower. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Your high temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 72. For the southeast Bahamas, weather partly sunny today, becoming fair and mild tonight. A 10% chance of a passing shower. Winds easterly at 10 to 15 knots. Your high temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 72 degrees. We'll have an extended forecast for you later on in the show. When we come back, we're discussing some of the day's top stories. That's when Morning Blend continues here on Guardian Radio 96.9, home of fresh news and smart talk all day.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Looking to elevate your gadget game, or are tech troubles simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows, or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you on Patton Street in Palmdale and Caves Village, or call 396-1100.
This holiday season, stay connected to the ones you love with Alive. Switch today and get 5 gigabytes of data free with your first 30-day plan. Whether you're sharing holiday moments or enjoying Jonkanuwan Bay, Alive keeps you connected all season long. Visit BeAlive.com to make the switch today. It's good to be alive.
This Christmas, my husband put a smile on my face. He caught the store-wide sale on now at the Paint Place. With brands like Richards and Benjamin Moore, the Paint Place had the perfect color and he was out the door. Now the front room is fabulous. What a surprise! Cranberry red. I couldn't believe my eyes.
Ho, ho, ho.
Make the holidays magical. Get 20% off store-wide during the Christmas sale at the Paint Place. When you've got to paint it right the first time. Net items excluded.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that
Well, welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app for your smart devices. We're on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 or BTC Flow Channel 612. We're all over social media, and you can join our conversation today. You can tweet us at morningblend969 or follow the hashtag morningblend. And be sure to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/morningblend969. Leave your comments and read what others are saying about the topics on the show. You can email us at morningblend@nascar.com. You can text us on the Guardian Radio text line. That's powered by BTC. Text us at 422-GR96. That's 422-4796. Standard text rates do apply. And also coming up, more weather and traffic. And we have business news coming up in Morning Blend Business at 9 a.m. But first, it's time to talk about what's in the news. And in the news, the big news yesterday, everybody, I'm sure, heard it. Well, some people heard it, and then other people heard of it. A huge explosion on Blue Hill Road South yesterday that left 8 people in the hospital, including a few kids. Very sad scene. I mean, it's only a God blessing that some of these people are in the hospital. When you look at the pictures of what the explosion did to the building, I mean, it is crazy. Something we haven't seen like that in a very long time. Nothing that I remember or that I can think of, but I want to say that the amount of misinformation that started to pop up as soon as this incident happened, I mean, it was crazy. And I really think it's social media and the fact that people just don't wait for respected sources to explain what the situation is. I mean, as soon as the first person said, hey, there was an explosion on Carmichael Road, I was like, okay, whoa, explosion on Carmichael Road? And then I saw somebody else, yeah, there's a gas station exploded. And then I'm like, what? A gas station on Carmichael Road? And I got to search for a gas station in my mental map on Carmichael Road. I know there's one by Blue Hill. And then as you go down the road, I know where the next one is. And just all of this misinformation for a long time before you got the actual location and an understanding of what actually happened. And so y'all need to calm down when things happen and wait till you get correct information. Don't just listen to some of the stuff that people just be passing on social media. I mean, there was so much misinformation. Because had a gas station exploded, good grief. That would have been wild. But this was equally as wild because, and thank God it wasn't worse. Again, by the looks of these pictures and this house. So if you want to talk about this story, and I saw some some interesting commentary and questions about it, and they're all relevant, and I think they should all be answered in turn somehow, some way. But the question was, and maybe some of you know the answer to this, who is liable in this situation to, I guess, rebuild this home after all the investigations are done and they figure out exactly what happened? Who's liable? Do propane delivery truck and companies, do they carry insurance for these kinds of things? How much insurance do they have to carry? Those are all interesting questions that kind of came up out of this. You know, should they be liable to pay for the hospital bills. You know, if anybody went to private hospital, because, you know, y'all don't pay PMH, even though you're supposed to. So those are all questions I saw crop up. A story in the, again, speaking of information that kind of just pops up, there's a story in the Nassau Guardian. Someone asked in the Nassau Guardian, the Tribune, I'm sorry, with National Security Minister Wayne Monroe saying that this new guy that they picked up, who confessed to killing young Adriel Moxie, apparently confessed to killing a number of other people on Grand Bahama. So let me just read a bit of this story here. It says the National Security Minister Wayne Monroe said yesterday the man has confessed to killing schoolgirl Adriel Moxie and a number of other people on Grand Bahama. He could not confirm reports that the person, a 38-year-old man, confessed to killing 5 people overall, but said he was informed that the man claimed he killed others and covered it up with arson. So Wayne Monroe says, quote, they took him over to Grand Bahama to follow up. Tribune got the wrong jump page if you're looking for the rest of this story. Okay. Did they even jump the story? Where's the rest of the story, Tribune? Oh boy. Okay, well, I think the Tribune might have left you with a cliffhanger on that story. Oh no, there it is. It's in the big picture. Okay. It's a very short story. Okay. He says, quote, they took him over to Grand Bahama to follow up on those leads because they wouldn't just go based on what he says. And the story goes on to say the revelation of the new suspect in Adriel Moxie's case comes weeks after Commissioner. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. That's very short. But this came out after, I think the commissioner mentioned this new suspect. And I see people online chatting about and worried that all along, the Bahamas had what they call a serial killer. Now, I'm only saying that the person I saw online say serial killer, right? We don't know if that's exactly what it is. But they have a fear that we've just been living around here with a serial killer and did not know. And then, of course, the other question is if he has been around here and has confessed to a number of murders, is there anyone locked up for those murders he might have committed? All questions, I guess we'll find out in the new year. Scary stuff. Let's take this call. Let's see what this caller is talking about. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Morning, Chester.
Good morning.
How things, man? How was Christmas?
Man, Christmas was good. How was yours?
Mine was wonderful. Dwight, what happened? Dwight eat too much time. I think he got.
That's got to be what it is.
I know, but listen, I agree with you, Chester. The Hamans, sometimes we call the talk shows and we try to tell the Hamans what's going on, but despite doing that, they still grab and they were grab and they broke off running with it. Mm-hmm. 8 out of 10, the Hamans are like that. They don't take the information, go back, take a step back, analyze it, and then come forward with their, positive positive opinions or negative opinions.
Yeah.
So I agree with you there. Obviously, taking into consideration what was reported on the news and what I heard on social media, the gas company is definitely liable. Definitely, because I've seen it happen before years ago to Dolio Street when the gas truck came, full up a tank, didn't do their due diligence and check that tank. See, in businesses like that, safety is of paramount importance. Safety. We ain't no safety people.
No.
I'm sorry to say, we ain't no safety people. They run it up with that truck, grab that money with your hand, pump that hose, and they really sprayed up on that tank to find out if that tank leaking. And it's obvious that's what happened in that incident. But that's just my opinion on that. And, when you talk, John, I can say it for 2 minutes to call back.
You call back, eh?
Yeah, man.
So
that's my thing.
I better read
All
the
right.
rest of that story then. All right, appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know what happened in that case. Again, we waiting for the expert opinion of the people who are investigating it. But obviously something went wrong. I mean, refilling a gas tank is a routine situation, but obviously you're dealing with a very hazardous thing. And again, there's something we need to change. We always talk about changing things going into the new year. It's one of our favorite things to do. New year, new me, right? We really are a bit of a lackadaisical society when it comes to safety. And you see it. You heard us talk to, even the construction sector about it. But people are always on roofs with no fall safety equipment. I mean, it's wild some of the things people do around here without safety equipment. OSHA would have a heart attack if they came here. So that story also, so the Way Forward Valley Boys decides to have an opinion on the Valley Boys. I didn't read the rest of the story, but let's read it. The Way Forward Valley Boys executive board member Devon Jones Devon said yesterday that while the group was happy with its performance in the Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade, in light of the absence of funding and sponsorship, the Valley Boys split led to disappointing performance for the group that was judged as the Valley Boys. So the Way Forward people, saying that the world famous people, I assume, had a terrible showing. But they called the Saxons exceptional. Jones said that the Saxons were exceptional, but he said, imagine what we did with no government funding and without a title sponsor. And he goes on to say, so the story says, the Way Forward Valley Boys, led by Trevor Davis, is one of two groups to have come out of a split of the original Valley Boys, one of the most decorated Junkanoo groups in the Bahamas. The world-famous Valley Boys, led by Brian Adderley, is the other. So both groups claim to be the true representation of the Valley Boys, and the matter is before the courts. However, the Way Forward group was barred by the JCNP, the Junkanoo Corporation of New Providence, from competing in the Boxing Day and New Year's Day parades because of technicalities over the process to register as an A group. They still competed as an F group. And so Jones said, while third place is not what any group aims for when they go to Bay Street, we are proud that the Valley Boys was competitive and placed in the top 3 despite a year of extraordinary... Oh, sorry, this is a statement by Brian Adderley talking about placing third. So he said, while third place is not what any group aims for when they go to Bay Street, we're proud that the Valley Boys was competitive and placed in the top 3 despite a year of extraordinary challenges. He said earning a top 3 position is even more impressive when considering that we only secured a major sponsor 1 month before the parade and received no government seed funding to date. This achievement is a testament to the resilience and dedication of our members who have stood by the group and given their all on and off Bay Street. We have proven that even in the face of adversity, the spirit of Junkanoo remains alive and well within the Valley Boys. Jones said, however, yesterday that it is clear that the discord between the two Valley Boys factions led to a watered-down showing. However, he noted that there have been some talks of making peace in recent days. Okay, well, that's new. He said, I don't know what the future holds. There have been several overtures from members from that side, obviously talking to us, wanting to see if we could work it out, that sort of thing, because they see what they've done to the group. Oh, boy, that's not gonna... I mean, it was sad. It was sad to watch, really. And if people were to get off their soap dish for a second, and you see that you are damaging the legacy of a group that has done so much for Junkanoo as a whole, all we had to do was have reasonable conversation. Okay. Well, we could get your opinion on that. You can always call us. I forgot to give you the numbers. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. And call us toll-free from the Family Islands, 242-300-5720. So we're talking about that, what the Valley Boys are saying to each other. They said there's some hope for peace, but then the words coming out of people's mouths don't say peace. Okay, let's take this call. Yeah. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Yeah, Chester.
You're back.
And again. For the most part, I think the parades went well. I think they did well. And in life, what people must understand, Chester, even the best of families have arguments. So what the Valley Boys going through now needed to happen. It had to happen. And at the end of the day, we could come up with the best results, I'm sure. You know, if you go down, families go down the road, no argument, something wrong, man. You know what I mean? We still was both able to go out there and accomplish what we wanted to. The way forward showed the Junkanoo world and the other participants that we are a viable A group. And that was our objective. That's why we went out there to show that it is possible that we could survive in the A category. Yeah. However, what my concern with the JCNP is all that when they put the way forward through in a year and a half, how is it that 2, maybe 3 or 4 groups didn't make the cut, but they could make a standing order right out there to say, okay, you still could rush, or you still could do this, and you still could do that, and no kind of concessions was ever given to the way forward Valley Boys. That's one of my main concerns. My second concern is the amalgamation that is happening before the Bahamian people being robbed of 2 of their holidays. They try now to merge Boxing Day into Christmas night, when Christmas Day is the only time of the holiday when the Junkanoos get to take a break from the shacks, go home, enjoy their families, doing, eating, and whatnot, camaraderie, and then go to Junkanoo for the late Christmas night or the next morning. But because the merchants are so greedy, they will open their stores around 10, 11, 12 o'clock on Boxing Day, and that is taking away from the Junkanoo, from what the meaning and the process of Junkanoo. Let me qualify that. Those for Junkanoo will spend months in their shacks producing those wonderful costumes. Oh, congratulations to the Saxon on an excellent job. And then they got to run down Bay Street. Well, they can't spend home Christmas no more, because Christmas morning they got to start moving those costumes to Bay Street. And then when the parade starts, they got to run down Bay Street in 70 minutes and do not get the opportunity to really show their costumes off. And I think the JCNP and those involved have to take another look at that. No matter what time Junkanoo ends on Boxing Day, those stores need to remain closed. Finland would have never allowed that, because it belongs to the Junkanoos and Bahamian people alike. Thanks for taking the call, sir.
All right, appreciate it.
All right.
All right. Not sure what that's about. I haven't heard it. I haven't heard anything about that. Some text messages coming in. This person says, now we want to know which gas company is that. Is that the gas company will deliver to my home? Do you have the name of the gas company? You can find the name of the gas company. It's all over the pictures and everywhere that y'all was sharing yesterday. Good morning. Do you know or believe possibility the high-ranking politician mentioned in the indictment from the United States officials could be what? Could be the Prime Minister of the Bahamas. Is this the reason why nobody is removed? Yeah, but we haven't even found out who it is. Or if the Americans have given the government any information on who it might be. So what is the point of asking that? This person says, is he calling the people who sponsors Junkanoo greedy? They need to make their money back. Make their money. Okay. I mean, he's talking about downtown stores. I mean, maybe some of them are sponsors. I don't know. Or their affiliate companies are sponsors. Who knows? All right, so let's get your opinion on those stories. So this person who confessed to Adriel's murder, saying he murdered some other people, and Minister of National Security Wayne Monroe saying that they took him down to Grand Bahama to see if those stories might be true. We got another call coming in. Yeah, let's take that. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Hey, good morning, Chester.
Good morning.
Morning, Chester. You know, I agree with GNN, you know, and I've also said that years ago on another show. When it comes to your culture, it's supposed to be preserved respectfully. I can remember when they held the People's March in Independence, and I was watching it downtown. I saw the police them rushing the people off Bay Street because the merchants want to open up their store at 12 o'clock. So they have rushed the Junkanoo downtown, and by 12 o'clock the police formed a line. They marched the Junkanoo group off. You know, any other Caribbean countries, even London, they have carnival. They are observed for 3 and 4 days. Okay. And merchants don't control the culture, the way the people are actually supposed to, either the way they behave or what they're supposed to actually do to celebrate their ancestral culture. So, yes, they should respect the culture and let the people spend a whole year pacing, and then, like Kenan say, you have to rush them off pastry. That's not fair.
Yeah.
You know, government need to do something with that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. I've not heard of this whole controversy about Junkanoo being rushed off Bay Street so merchants could open up on Bay Street. I mean, how many people? Boxing Day is a holiday. Are there that many stores that typically open on Boxing Day on Bay Street? Yeah. Huh? I don't know, because I don't go down Bay Street no more. No reason to. Hint. Text message coming in saying, we don't need to wait on the Americans like we don't have a brain. Money don't lie. Bring in a forensic investigator and review the finances of the entire cabinet. This high-ranking politician cannot be allowed to remain in place and unpunished. Bring in a forensic investigator and review the finances of the... Boy. I'm not sure you could just do that. I'm not sure you could just go through people's finances. I mean, you need probable cause, like warrants and stuff. I'm sure you can't just be like, let's see who been getting cash from here, there, and everywhere. We should stop, right? That might be a good start. But a name was given during this investigation. They likely have that name. So, again, why not just wait? How like an investigation could take a lot of time and cost a lot of money, but the people have a name. So yeah, why not just wait for them? Or however, whatever diplomatic lines you need to go through to get that information. This person says, wow, one more day of the year, Michael Johnson, Chief Superintendent, is laughing at us, the Bahamian people, straight to the bank. This person says, the question of the year in the junk in the world. The question of the year in the junk in the world is why the Minister Government of the Bahamas did not give seed money to the world famous Junkanoo Group this year. What's up with that? I don't know. No idea. Morning, it's called rushing because in the bad old days, groups had to be off Bay Street before shops open. I think it's our tourism mindset that makes us second-class citizens in our own country. Interesting comment. In the bad old days, groups had to be off Bay Street before shops open. Yeah. Well, we'll see. I haven't heard that controversy. Maybe it's just an ongoing one, but we'll see what comes out of that conversation, wherever that conversation is being had. We're going to take a break, and Morning Blend will return right on the other side.
It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day.
Around the world, Cleveland Clinic is recognized as a leader in healthcare. Our team of experts relentlessly pursues the best for our patients. From groundbreaking cancer research to state-of-the-art heart surgery, life-saving innovations happen here every day. When it's time to travel for your health, it's time to travel to Cleveland Clinic. Your destination for care, for every care in the world. To learn more, visit clevelandclinic.org/Caribbean.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
No more wishing for your Christmas ideas to come true. Get a no-fee loan from RBC and make those ideas a reality.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
Finding the right loan for all of your Christmas ideas starts with a conversation. Visit a branch to speak with an advisor today. Offer ends December 31st.
And it's time for your morning traffic report. This segment of Morning Blend brought to you by RBC. Make your Christmas ideas come true with a no-fee loan from RBC. Starting in the west now, Gladstone Road looking quite fine at the moment. Some traffic building as you pass the roundabout there with Gladstone Road and John F. Kennedy as you head west, but nothing much to speak of. A little bit of traffic building on some Melo Butler Highway now. But that's focused right at the roundabout with Tonic Williams Darling Highway. Some traffic on Blue Hill Road southbound as you approach the intersection with Carmichael Road. Not very much though. Small pockets of traffic in other areas, but it is pretty much a traffic-free drive around the island this morning. We'll take another look at traffic in the 8 o'clock hour. This segment of Morning Blend brought to you by RBC. Visit a branch or rbc.com/Christmas ideas today and find the right loan for you. And now at 7:39, it's time for your Morning Blend weather check. And your general situation, a low-level trough near the northwestern islands continues to move east across the central Bahamas, producing isolated showers and cloudy conditions. The trough is expected to dissipate later today. A weak cold front will move near the northern islands, producing a few isolated showers over that area before dissipating. A second cold front is expected to move into the northern Bahamas by late Tuesday or early Wednesday and quickly move through the island chain. High pressure will build behind the front on Thursday, supporting fresh to moderate breezes and cooler temperatures. Beachgoers and swimmers are urged to abstain from entering the waters along Atlantic shorelines and should exercise caution while visiting local eastern-facing coastal beaches due to the risk of hazardous rip currents and the presence of locally rough surf in those areas. For the northern Bahamas, weather partly cloudy, a 20 to 30% chance of showers. Winds southerly at 10 to 15 knots, occasionally falling to less than 10 knots. Your high temperature today, 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Your low, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. For the northwest Bahamas, weather mostly cloudy, becoming partly cloudy by tonight. A 20% chance of showers. Winds southerly at 10 to 15 knots, occasionally falling to less than 10 knots. Your high temperature, 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Your low, 70 degrees Fahrenheit. For the central Bahamas, weather partly cloudy, becoming variably cloudy tonight. A chance of passing showers. Winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Your high temperature, 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Your low, 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And for the southeast Bahamas, weather partly sunny today, becoming fair and mild tonight. A 10% chance of a passing shower. Winds easterly at 10 to 15 knots. Your high temperature, 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Your low, 72 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll have an extended outlook in weather for you in the 8 o'clock hour. We'll be back with more Morning Blend after these messages here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
This Christmas, Fidelity Bank is still the one. With one easy monthly payment, one fantastic way to save, and one chance to win $5,000 in extra cash. Make that move to Fidelity Bank and apply for a personal loan for a chance to win extra cash today. Call 356-7764 for more details.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Busy
Busy mornings demand a hearty breakfast. So start your mornings off the best way with Wendy's new breakfast wrap. Enjoy this savory wrap that's packed with fresh cracked eggs, breakfast potatoes, and a melty cheese sauce. With a choice of savory sausage or crispy bacon. All wrapped in a warm, soft tortilla. Wendy's always serves breakfast the right way.
Looking for unique and exciting Bahamian experiences? Street Smart has you covered. Whether it's snorkeling, cultural tours, or hidden dining gems. And for local business owners, this is your chance to get in front of millions of visitors by joining the Street Smart platform. Showcase your products and services. Street Smart is your connection to unforgettable experiences. Visit StreetSmart242.com today. Sign up and let's show the world the best of the Bahamas. Street Smart, connecting you to unforgettable experiences. Download now.
Make your house a home. Stop by the furniture store that's giving you more. With appliances, furniture, and reclines. Whatever you want, we got it all. Promise Furniture, no wonder. We give it you. We make it worthwhile. We make it quality, comfort, and style. Quality and style, yeah. Promise Furniture, no wonder, no one. We give it you. We make it worthwhile. Giving you quality, comfort, and style. Promise Furniture.
I am joyriding.
CIBC Caribbean is giving 3 lucky clients the chance to win cash prizes this Christmas. Finance your vehicle with us for your chance to win, and we'll gift you no loan application fee, up to 100% financing, and up to 10 years to repay. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/joyofgiving and apply for vehicle financing now. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you seeking exceptional health care beyond the traditional hospital setting? Introducing Doctors Hospital Clinics, your trusted destination for comprehensive care. Our full-service locations provide affordable services through our Loyalty Advantage membership program and NHI. Experience seamless care with our integrated health system, where your medical history travels with you, ensuring continuity of care. Book an appointment today at clinics.doctorshosp.com. We make primary care easy.
What gift gives you joy? The gift of home renovations. Apply for a personal loan with CIBC Caribbean and use your funds for a dream holiday, home renovations, or more, and we'll gift you no loan application fee and the chance to win one of 3 prizes in your country from our regional pot of up to US $100,000. Visit CIBCFCIB.com/joyofgiving. CIBC Caribbean terms and conditions apply.
End of the day, Lampkin, the customers love the red suit. You think you can heist them pounds something a little more? We need to see more socks. But before you go, look at, I got some specials going on for the sale. I got 2 sets of 12 by 12 and 4 sets of 18 by 18 tiles. Now the 12 by 12 Al Blanco is just that, Al Blanco. That and the peach and gray Alcala going for $2.15 a square foot. Now I got 3 18 by 18 flagstone style and a high gloss gray and beige tile for $2.03 a square foot. But what you doing, Lampkin? I'm looking for one pen. Sale ends December 21st.
Sherwin-Williams Bahamas doesn't mess about when it comes to product range and product knowledge.
If it's a new product come in the store, we walk the store and study that product.
One thing with our boss, if a new product comes in, he takes the time and he's always keeping us up to date with product knowledge. And we just had 9 weeks of different products that we had to study, and we had exams at the end of each product.
Yeah.
The only way we can sell the product effective, we have to know that product. Yeah, that helps us to relate to our customers. It gives us better knowledge to know what product to introduce to them. You understand? So we can know what product to give them to use and what product not to give them to use. So product knowledge is really key in Sherwin-Williams.
They got the keys. And the key is the product knowledge that comes with our extensive product range at Sherwin-Williams Paints, Bahamas. Find color in every day.
What they
Good morning and welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Chester Robards. Still filling in for Dwight Strachan. I think he'll be back tomorrow. Maybe. And then, have a nice New Year's Day holiday. How you like that? We're talking about the explosion that happened on Blue Hill Road South yesterday that injured it's either 8 or 9 people. That number's been up and down. But we're praying for those people who are in hospital injured by that explosion. And also talking about this person who has confessed to killing Adriel Moxie and apparently may have killed more people. And of course, there are concerns that a serial killer has been living in our midst this whole time. But even more concerning is, I hope we don't find out later that there are people locked up for crimes this person committed. A text message coming in saying, hold on, Bahamas, the Free National Movement is coming. It appears that the leader of the Free National Movement are selecting candidates for the next general election. Prime Minister Davis turned out to be a poor excuse for Prime Minister now. It's time to send them home. Okay, that sentiment coming out of nowhere. Thank you for sharing with us. Yeah, and we're also talking about Junkanoo still. The Way Forward Valley Boys saying, and I don't know why this is way back in this story, but there might be a light at the end of the tunnel. There might be a mea culpa for the two groups. There might be some kumbaya and hugging before the day is done. Maybe the Valley Boys will once again be in your belly and it won't be twins. Just be one baby. We'll see. I don't know. People are looking forward to having their Valley Boys back instead of having a faction or having a Valley Boys fraction, as people have been saying. So let us know what you think. You can text us 422-4796, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. You can call us toll free, 242-300-5720. And let us know what you think about these stories. Also, in the Tribune, you've heard of that killing that happened in Fox Hill the other day. The Tribune spoke to the barber where this happened, and let me read just a little bit of this. A barber grazed by a bullet during a mass shooting at his Fox Hill shop is grappling with trauma as he reopens his business and considers leaving the area or the profession altogether. So Jordan E. Joseph, owner of New Horizon Haircuts on Bernard Road, described the December 21 shooting as a life-altering tragedy. 2 men were killed and 3 others, including a 7-year-old boy, were injured when gunmen opened fire in his shop. It says the episode highlights the wide-ranging impact of senseless violence, leaving loved ones mourning their loss while a small business owner and his employees face an uncertain future. Joseph said, quote, "For me, it's devastating. Honestly, can you imagine seeing people getting killed right there where you're standing, watching everything fall to the floor?" Mr. Joseph said his back was grazed by a bullet during the attack. The shop reopened for the first time on Saturday, but foot traffic was sparse. Mr. Joseph said this is not unusual for this time of year, but admitted the shooting has cast a shadow over his business. He said, quote, when people come to support you in the barbershop and you see them get killed just like that, it affects me a lot. I don't even want to cut hair anymore. Barbering has been my passion for years, but because of what happened, my mind is telling me to stop doing it. Stop right there. That's a very sad story. Someone affected so badly, a business owner, by the rampant murder problem we have in this country, that the unrelated thing that is his profession that did not cause this problem, he wants to give up. I mean, that's a level of trauma that some people will never know about, right? I mean, the fact that some people were in his shop and other people were looking for them and came in that shop to get them has nothing to do with him or his business. But it was such a traumatic experience that he's not thinking about moving his shop out of the area. He's thinking about stopping the thing that he said is his passion altogether. Imagine that kind of trauma. I mean, you know, I'm sure and I hope that he gets past it and he gets over it, God willing, which I'm sure he will, but it's still fresh in his mind. It's still fresh in his store. You know, there's a reminder, I'm sure, every day, having to cover up bullet holes, having to look at the floor where you had to clean up blood, having to relive that trauma every day in your store. You know, thinking of your customers who passed away in your store in a violent situation. This is, I mean, in this tiny little island, this is what people have to face. The casualties of the crime and violent crime in this country are not just the people who die. It's the little kid who's scarred for life after being shot in a store. It's the barber who wants to quit his profession and passion. It's the people who just want to get their hair cut, but after a not so random incident, are even afraid to step foot in that store, even if nobody's looking for them. Psychologically, somebody could come in that store and shoot it up for no reason. I mean, this is how the human brain works, right? They're afraid to go into this store anymore, even though the danger is probably gone, whatever that danger was that day. And this is what we're facing day in and day out, right? And there's no wonder people are still texting the text line asking about the Michael Johnson case. There's no wonder people are still wondering, when are we going to get the name of the high-profile politician or whomever, government official, named in the indictment? Because it just always feels to people in this country like there's no justice. There's no urgency in dealing with crime. You know, it just feels that way. And so here we are, living day to day, just wondering when the next thing is going to happen. Again, we look at this explosion that happened. People start talking about safety. Where's the urgency in ensuring, and I'm not just talking about gas delivery. Where's the urgency in ensuring that people are being safe on the job, in their jobs, that people have the right PPE when they go on a construction site, in the hospital, wherever. I mean, we just have this culture of being lackadaisical about some of these things. And again, you see it all the time. You see, you know, even the person who's picking up your trash in front of your yard, when you see them, are they wearing gloves? Are they protecting themselves against whatever the hazards of that job are? Are the companies and government that send them out there, have they provided them with the right things to protect themselves? Have they trained them enough so that they avoid injury? We're going to go to the news, and Morning Blend will return after that.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day. And now at 8:18, it's time for your final look at this morning's weather, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Your general situation, a low-level trough near the northwestern islands, continues to move east across the central Bahamas, producing isolated showers and cloudy conditions. The trough is expected to dissipate later today. A weak cold front will move near the northern islands, producing a few isolated showers over that area before dissipating. A second cold front is expected to move into the northern Bahamas by late Tuesday or early Wednesday and quickly move through the island chain. High pressure will build behind the front on Thursday, supporting fresh to moderate breezes and cooler temperatures. Beachgoers and swimmers are urged to abstain from entering the waters along Atlantic shorelines and should exercise caution while visiting local eastern-facing coastal beaches due to the risk of hazardous rip currents and the presence of locally rough surf in those areas. For the northern Bahamas, weather partly cloudy, a 20 to 30% chance of showers. Wind southerly at 10 to 15 knots, occasionally falling to less than 10 knots. Your high temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 70 degrees Fahrenheit. For the northwest Bahamas, weather mostly cloudy, becoming partly cloudy by tonight. A 20% chance of showers, wind southerly at 10 to 15 knots, occasionally falling to less than 10 knots. Your high temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 70 degrees Fahrenheit. For the central Bahamas, weather partly cloudy, becoming variably cloudy tonight. A 10 to 20% chance of passing showers, winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Your high temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 72 degrees Fahrenheit. For the southeast Bahamas, weather partly sunny today, becoming fair and mild tonight. A 10% chance of a passing shower. Winds easterly at 10 to 15 knots. Your high temperature 81 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 72 degrees Fahrenheit. And your weather for tomorrow, Tuesday, December 31st, New Year's Eve. Partly sunny during the day, becoming fair at night. A 20% chance of isolated showers in the northern islands. 10% chance of a passing shower elsewhere. Winds south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots in the northern and northwest Bahamas. East to southeast at 10 to 15 knots in the central and southeast Bahamas. Your high temperature 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Your low 75 degrees Fahrenheit. And your outlook for Wednesday, the 1st of January 2025.
Weather partly sunny during the day, becoming fair at night. A 10% chance of a passing shower. Winds west to northwest at 10 to 15 knots in the northern and northwest Bahamas. Light and variable at 10 knots or less in the central Bahamas. And easterly at 10 to 15 knots in the southeast Bahamas. Your high temperature 82 degrees Fahrenheit, your low 75 degrees Fahrenheit. That's been your weather, brought to you by Sherwin-Williams Paints. Sherwin-Williams Paints has got you covered for all your painting and equipment needs. Visit Sherwin-Williams Paints online or in-store today. And this is your Morning Blend Traffic Alert, brought to you by RBC. Make your Christmas ideas come true with a no-fee loan from RBC. Let's see what the streets are looking like for you now. Traffic building in your favorite hotspots are Milo Butler Highway at the intersection with Tonique Williams Darling Highway. Not too bad though. Traffic is still on the straightaway there as you head toward the roundabout. Hasn't turned the curve yet. Things look clear on Gladstone Road. Some traffic building there at the intersection of Carmichael Road and Blue Hill Road. Just at the entrance to Southwest Plaza, so not too bad. Little pockets of traffic elsewhere around the island, but those are your hot spots there at the moment. That traffic alert brought to you by RBC. Visit a branch or rbc.com/Christmas ideas today and find the right loan for you.
Santa here. I'm thinking of getting a Scotia Plan loan this Christmas.
Hi, Santa. Sounds perfect. With a Scotia Plan loan, you can use it to cover personal bills, renovate the North Pole, or even fund a little vacation with Mrs. Claus.
A vacation after Christmas sounds perfect. What kind of benefits are there?
We have competitive rates, plus you won't have to make any payments for up to 2 months.
Sounds like a plan. Sign me up. Myself, the elves, and Mrs. Claus can't wait to get started.
At Scotiabank, we have a plan loan for everyone. Sign up for your plan loan today.
What? You don't know what TDC is? Tourism Development Corporation? You mean the Ministry of Tourism? No, that ain't the same thing, buddy. The Tourism Development Corporation helps to develop and grow behemoth businesses in the tourism industry. You hear what they say, buddy? Oh, yeah. Develop and grow. You don't know what all the things saying do? What does do? Check the website once.
Start your journey to ownership of our #1 industry today. Log on to tdcbahamas.com.
Mama having fun again. Gumbe is a wicked dance they do. When they gumbe, do da 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 da. Gumbe do da 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 da. Take the devil out of you, just like the gumbes do. Ha! First you build a fire and it gets higher, higher and higher, higher and higher. Then they dance around it and they get wilder, wilder and wilder, till the devil's in the fire. So Gumbe do da 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 da. Gumbe do da 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 da. Take the devil out of you, just like the gumbes do. Come on. Gumbe do da 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 da. Gumbe do da 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 da. Take the devil out of you.
And we're back with Morning Blend here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Chester Robots, filling in for Dwight Strachan for the last day, for me, of the year, along with Deandra Godwright. Welcome.
apologies for my tardiness. You know, the roads might be empty, but somehow I fancy, you know, some persons love joyriding.
Those same people who drive in front of Dwight in the morning.
Oh,
they were driving in front of you.
Listen, I am convinced. I am convinced. And then the thing is, just add insult to injury. Brethren trying to beep somebody off the light in front of me and then still proceeds to drive at 20 miles an hour.
Oh.
Why will you raise my expectations that you could do the right thing? Come on, man.
You know, things that have to change in 2025.
I
hate saying that, you know, because, you know, really, what is it? I mean, the mindset doesn't just roll over at 12 a.m. on the 31st of December.
Well, I think it's, you know, like saying the different numbers. I think that's for some people that's what clicks, but the reality is just it's another day.
Yeah.
But it's what you make of it. But speaking about things that need to change and the roads, and we know Aaron likes to bring attention to these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could we maybe advocate for the roads to actually be painted properly, like the lines? Because I feel like not everybody.
I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Because I feel like, you know, like when we were kindergartners, like learning colors and stuff like that, and they were like color in the lines of it. I don't think everybody understood that assignment up until adulthood because people can't seemingly stay in their lane. And then
what
also,
a great analogy.
No, but that's what it is. I'm like, I explain it because then my baby sister or my nephew, when I had the children with me, they're like, well, why are these people driving like that? I said, well, honey, some people weren't able to color in the lines when they were,
and
still
failing.
Right. But then I also think like beyond just staying in your lane, it's also perhaps to hopefully understand some of the road rules itself, particularly with those roundabouts that you have to yield before going into oncoming traffic, because I don't think a lot of persons also understand that very well. And this is particularly the case with those roundabouts in the West.
There is a video. I'm going to send it to you, but it's of a intersection, I think somewhere in Palmdale, where somebody's video cameras capture a ton of accidents in this one spot. So they put a compilation together.
Oh, what? A compilation?
Yes.
I wonder if that's because there was an accident I passed this morning as well. It's only because I have like a small vehicle so I can get around it or whatnot. Yeah. I'm like, how does that even happen? Like, how does it even happen? But electricity was in and out because I think the lights in the area not working.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's an accident first thing in the morning.
Well, I'll tell you, in most of the cases in that video, you'll see there are stop signs on two sides of the road and people just ain't stopping.
Well, the thing is, I counted it yesterday actually when I was driving. Because again, you know, generally I try to be a very considerate driver, right? But when I have other lives in the car, especially young lives in the car, I'm like, I drive like a little Miss Daisy person, right? And I'm like, why is this person running that red light? Why did they take that turn into oncoming traffic? You know, with the whole turn left on red and whatnot. That happened to me twice, and I was like, it's a good thing that I wasn't speeding or I wasn't riding somebody's bumper or whatnot. And I'm like, this is setting bad examples for the young people that I have with me who haven't started learning how to drive yet. But it's absolutely ridiculous.
I would love to be the traffic control czar of the Bahamas. Because, like you said, there are a lot of roads that need lines. Because I want to chalk it up to people not understanding how to use certain parts of the road. I'm going to tell you two intersections. So, Market Street, when you get to the end of Market Street, right before you have to make the left or the right.
That's north, south.
South.
Okay.
Market Street South.
Okay.
What's the name of the road there?
And I trying to travel down in my head.
Anyway, at the end of Market Street where it stops and you got
No. Yes. With
before
the
Town Center Mall.
On Robinson Road. On
Robinson Road.
Right.
So
that intersection.
So there's
I saw that the other day.
So there's a lane to go left, there's a lane to go right. But people continually in the left lane decide that they're going to turn right as well.
I saw that for the first time like last week, and I was like, did I miss something?
No, you didn't miss anything. I would put a wall that goes out into the middle of the street on Robinson Road. You got to choose a side and stay there, because I get so tired, and I feel bad for the cars that want to turn left, but somebody waiting there to go right. So they can't go because they have the right of way when the light is red and stops the right lane.
Yeah.
They can still go because there's no traffic, oncoming traffic. But they can't because some clown is waiting to go right in that lane.
Like I said, I saw that for the first
So
time.
if you do that,
can't be crazy.
if you're one of those people, stop it, please, in 2025.
But this is my thing. I'm trying to figure out: do people actually understand the rules?
I'm sure
But
they
then-
do. I'm sure they do. They just don't
No,
care.
but again, also, like I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I try to be considerate again, right? And it's like, this is like if you're doing it out of ignorance, and I understand you need to be educated, that's fine. But if you're doing it because you choose to break the laws, then understand the consequences, which is what happened. Again, it's like it's so I don't know if it's that I pay more attention when I have the children inside the car, but we were passing through town, and there are very few stoplights in town, but there are some. So we're going through downtown. That's East Street North, right? We're waiting till the light turns. So it turns green. We go ahead. There is a car, and the police, I think, are literally right in the front of us.
Yeah.
There's a car coming out of East Street North onto Bay Street. Now, I didn't even know you could do that, but apparently you could, whatever. But they run their red light because it's green on the Bay Street side going east. They run the red light coming out of that little corner in front of the police. And subsequently get pulled over. And I was like, so not only did you run a red light, you tried to go in front of a police officer in a vehicle that didn't even have license plates. I was like, and you thought nothing was going to happen? Like, I don't understand.
Unreal.
I don't get it.
Unreal.
But I'm going back to like road rules and stuff like that and using those roundabouts that actually have yield points where you're supposed to stop before shooting into oncoming traffic.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of people realize that you're supposed to actually stop before you go in. The amount of cars that I see just speeding straight into traffic, I'm like, is it not common sense that you don't jump straight into oncoming traffic in a vehicle?
No, it's not common sense.
No.
No.
Gosh.
There's another intersection that needs lines. Hello, people who put lines in the road. Abundant Life and the highway, East-West Highway.
Yo. Yes.
So as you come out of Abundant Life onto the highway, again, people, there's supposed to be a lane to turn left. There's a lane to turn into Abundant Life. There's a lane to turn right.
Right.
And then there's a lane to turn left. I'm sure that is those two lanes are not to turn right. Again, people do it all the time.
What?
They make two lanes because there's two lanes on the highway.
Right.
They decide that there must be two lanes to turn right. They decide that.
No, but how do you even come up with that? Like, I don't understand.
But there's no lines in the road, so I mean, I guess you can come up with whatever you want to.
Well, see, this is my rationale. If
Yeah.
we had the lines in the road, then clearly you could see it.
Right.
So stop doing the garbage. And then also, do you realize those spots where, I feel like it was maybe 5-7 years ago when they put those yellow boxes inside the road or whatnot like that on Village Road, all of that is gone.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to say don't stop on it, right? But then I've also seen people still stopping on it, on where those little boxes actually still exist.
Yeah. Oh, where they still exist.
Where they still
Because I
exist.
think it's a law. I think they made it a law
I
that
know,
you
but I'm
can't
telling-
stop in it.
yes,
But they don't exist in some of the intersections where they used to.
No, but that's
So
what I'm
is
saying.
it still
They
a-
rubbed off. They
Right.
rubbed off, right?
So if you
Especially the
can't
Village
see
Road
it,
thing,
is it still a law?
But it's valid. If you see the little yellow edging, maybe
Yeah.
you'd be like, oh, maybe that's what it is. But maybe somebody dropped some paint. You never know.
Never
I don't
know,
know. But then I also saw that some of these boxes still exist. People just sitting up on it. I was like,
Yeah.
are you supposed to stay on that?
Yeah.
And I think that's by Sandy Port.
Mm-hmm.
They have one there. When I tell you like how people carry on to get in and out of that plaza,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
ridiculous. And I'm like, people are banking that corner with speed.
I never understood why they put a yellow box there, though.
I think it's like the turning thing, like people trying to get in and out of it.
If you're trying to get out of Sandy Port and you want to go right, there's no use in trying to wait until both sides are absolutely clear to come out, because they don't want you to stop in the middle of the intersection there where there's a turning lane. But you have to.
Mm-hmm.
It's impossible to.
You know what
You
this sounds
can't
like,
see. You
Chester?
can't see what coming over the bridge.
But you know what this sounds like, Chester?
It's
Think about it. This sounds like a perfect opportunity for an educational campaign. how to use the how to use the roads, man. I feel like this is a chance.
They can leave you holding your breath. This person says, morning, even without road lines, some people never learn to estimate fractions.
Oh.
Half of the road does not mean 2/3 of the road, especially if you're in a cube.
Listen, I saw this was and I would say the converse is also true, right? The bigger vehicles who literally feel like they have to take up a lane and a half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, no, sweetie, your vehicle can fit
in
one lane.
In the lane. They just
one
can't drive.
lane.
They just can't drive. They're a big vehicle.
Right, and then the large turns, and again, listen, teenagers don't have their mouth ain't no deep freeze. Okay, it was like, why are they turning that car like that? The car isn't long enough to need all of that space. I was like, well, darlings, they didn't learn how to drive properly. And so they probably learned how to drive in a bigger vehicle, because I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. So they think that they have to turn that way.
Yeah.
In any size vehicle. But I'm like, and then the people who swing out to swing in.
Yeah. Those are the people who grew up without power steering. I'm convinced.
No, that's what I'm saying. It has to be like a logical.
But somebody convinced them that they still need to do it in a car with power steering.
Well, maybe.
Clearly.
It's very difficult to break like habits and stuff like that. Very random. I found out, and I think this will age me for people who are listening. I feel like maybe it was 10 years ago, maybe, that I found out that, I don't know theoretically if that would be like my grandparents' generation or not. When you were learning how to drive, you had to learn how to drive standard shift.
Yeah.
Because I was like, all that was there, right? And I'm like, but the average person doesn't know how to drive standard shift anymore. Yeah. It's almost all automatic.
Right.
So I only say this to draw attention to the fact you ain't got to worry about shifting. You just driving. So why y'all making it hard?
Oh, boy. We got a call coming in. I hope these callers talking about more lines in the road.
Or maybe the educational campaign.
Or that.
Yes.
Or maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Good morning, Professor Rabat.
Good morning, Sparky.
Good morning to your guest. This is Sparky.
Morning.
Compliments of the season once again.
Same to you.
First of all, let me be a Bahamian and proud to say I'd like to congratulate all the junkanous that made it their effort to get down to Bay Street. I know it was a difficult year with the cost of living and all of that, and the up and down arguments about who should go to Bay and with name and all of that. I hope they can all get that sorted out.
Mm-hmm.
I finally made it down for the 66th time in my life.
Wow.
66 years from 1958. I first entered Bay Street with the Valley Boys as the Parrots, sponsored by A.B. Malcolm gas station on Bay Street. I was then also proud to be able to do it one more time, although I had to end up going down there in a walker, not a wheelchair, just a walker, because of health issues, but I made it one more time. I think that will be retirement time for me.
Mm-hmm.
I got to move as far as from Frederick Street to Rawson Square, watch the groups come in, and then I left to go to the parking lot to head back home to watch it on TV. Congratulations to all of those again. Like I said, I wish the Valley Boys would get their situation sorted out.
Mm-hmm.
It's heartbreaking to me because I've been a Valley Boys all my life. To how to choose as to which one was which, and if they could iron out the day election as the leader. Also, on the traffic situation that you talk about, some of these roads that they have, I wonder, knowing the situation in the country with all these cars, these engineers, when they have these roads that merge into one lane, you come in like different, when you come in like Blue Hill Road South, you come in north, right in front of that little school. You know what I'm talking about? You come in off of Carmichael Road, and you headed north towards Soldier Road.
Yeah, that's a very strange.
You got that light, and then you got this lane. It comes into double lane, and then it merges into a single lane. Now, there's only one side of the road. You can be on the left side, which is the left side of the road. People choose the right side, and when it comes to the merging part, they want to push in the front of you you're already on the left side. They chose the right side. Knowing I'm coming on the left side because there's only one entrance to the light.
Yeah.
I don't know who the engine is that figure out I didn't do that stuff.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing on the western side of the road, going south.
Yeah.
Coming to the other light in front of the school. And then when they dig up these roads around here also, I wonder if the people that fix these roads, if they live on the same island that they fix the road on.
Well, you got to ask them if they live in the same part of town, Sparky. That's the thing.
Everybody had to ride the same roads, including the MP, the politician, and the Minister of Works. They will dig up a hole, fix the hole, whatever they do underneath the tar. Then they leave the corridor open. They leave it there through all the rain. By the time the rain washes it down, the hole is deeper. And it takes months before they come back and tap the tar down on it, because they're not gonna pave the whole road. They're gonna tap the hole back. And they leave it for so long, and then we gotta continually duck these holes and stuff. And nobody seems to see it. But thousands of us have to drive it every day.
Yeah.
And we claim not to be able to improve. And we brag that we're the third richest nation in the Western Hemisphere compared to America and Canada. And we can't fix roads on a 21 by 7 island. You know?
Yeah. No, we listen.
That got to be appalling. And then, the tourists come to our country. We brag with tourism. They up and down the roads with all these holes on main streets like East Main Street, West Main Street. I can't understand it. And we got a whole department called the Ministry of Works. We can't maintain buildings. We can't maintain the road.
Yeah.
How long is this going to be the same way? And we keep electing these people every 5 years to do a job that they never can be able to seem to do. Yeah. Have a good day.
Sparky.
Tears us off, man.
Sparky,
have a good day.
Sparky.
Hey.
Before you go, let me ask you a question. Why some taxi drivers drive so bad?
Why they what?
Why some taxi drivers drive so bad?
Man, that's all of them, not some.
A taxi driver, let me tell you something. I'm no longer than yesterday. I'm by Super Value, Marquis Street. A taxi driver pulls up there in the low parking zone to let some tourists out to go into shop. The security guard tells the taxi driver he cannot park there. So now he wants to move from there and park in the handicap spot. The security driver out there says, "Son, you cannot park there." He said, "Man, look here, I'm a taxi driver. We need to treat our guests like royalty. We should be able to park anywhere." I say, "Sir." And then I get into it, I say, "Sir, the sign says handicap. Why would you want to park your taxi in the handicap spot to let tourists out to go shopping?" He said, "If I don't get on this, his business."
Lord.
They say that they own the roads.
Yeah.
The jitney drivers do the same thing.
Yeah.
They stop where there's no bus stop. They pull from traffic from one side to the next side because you got a small car. They got this big building coming down the road. Like, they have no respect for money. And they do it every day. And policemen be on the road and they see it and they do nothing. Nobody does anything around here what is called their job. They want a job, but when they got a job, they don't want to work. Have a good day.
Yeah, have a good day. Thank you, Sparky.
You know, I always say that if
I'm glad Sparky was in on, anyway.
a jovial mood today.
What you got to say about taxi drivers?
The thing is I always think to myself with the taxi drivers is like, if they could drive the way they do when they have, if they can drive as safely as they do when they have tourists in them, when they don't have tourists in them, one.
Depend on what tourists in there.
Right. And then two, if they could pick up speed, but perhaps not as much speed as they do when they don't have guests in them. Because I have never seen a car move as slow as a taxi when they have guests in them. And I've never seen a car move as fast until you see a taxi without a guest in them, and they fly in. And then when you look at it, what the movie called Zootopia. I don't know if you ever saw that. Again, right. So with the sloth driving, but it's like a fast vehicle, so they didn't realize it's the slowest animal that's driving it, right? So similarly, when you pass in some of these vehicles, and this is not unique to just taxi drivers, but primarily, sorry if I've thrown it out there, I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings, it's just what I've seen. It is be some of the older folks who fly in inside these cars, these taxis, and I'm like, yo, what is this about? And then they rowing you. I remember one day I was doing one of the Saturday runs or whatnot like that. A lady taxi driver was rowing every runner on the side of the road, saying they holding up traffic. I'm like, miss, we on the sidewalk.
Someone convinced them that their job as some kind of ambassador makes them eligible to do things that other Bahamians cannot do. So there's a mindset there somewhere. So,
well, maybe we missed that
but
lesson.
it's exactly what Sparky said, right? He's like, oh, I gotta make things convenient for the tourists, but not if it's illegal, not if it's obstructing traffic.
But then again, that goes back to, I don't know if I've ever said that on this show. I think I did it on the Eye Opener years ago when I heard it before, where back in the day when I used to work with tourism or whatever, I overheard taxi drivers telling tourists that, oh, no, yeah, that's legal. Hey, you can do whatever you want. I was like, what the fudge? How you telling the people that we ain't got no laws?
Yeah.
They can believe you.
Yeah. I saw a taxi driver when I used to work in a hotel. They were like, they called him up and they were like, oh, well, there's like, so 1, 2, 3, 4, there was probably about 6 or 7 people. And he was like, oh, I don't think your car big enough. We can call something big. He's like, no, I can take them. So they pile 4 people in the back, put one person, he doesn't have one of those long front seats. So one person in the passenger seat, the next person sitting
in the middle of like the gear console.
So I think one leg was on his side, on his driver's side. The other leg was in the passenger side. And he had to put his hand between their legs to shift the car into gear. And I could only shake my head.
But then it goes like also to enforcement and things like that. And then we wonder why.
They don't care. They want to make that almighty buck. And they'll do it at any means, by any means necessary.
You gotta make that money, man. If I could I give a shout out really quickly?
Sure.
So, we always, unfortunately, a lot of persons experience negative interactions when they go to government or quasi-government agencies. I actually have a positive review for the folks over there at National Insurance Board.
Hello.
Yeah, where I think that was Friday, I had to get a particular 2 services done and whatnot. They didn't know who I was on this because, again, the beauty of being on radio is that you know my voice, but you don't know how I look because y'all only can see my face in Guardian too often, right?
Everybody know how I look for some reason.
Oh, because your face always in the Guardian. So just saying it, and you was on the news, it's different. I could hide a little easier, I think. Anyway, so I gone inside there, did everything the right, like procedurally and whatever like that. Smooth process. Like I was like, this is incredible.
Nice.
Like I never experienced it. So I wanted to give a special shout out to Ms. Lightborn over there at NIB right on Blue Hill at headquarters. I need to be very clear about that. She was very helpful, ran me through the process. Everything was seamless and whatnot. Now, granted, I had all my paperwork in order, which was helpful to the cause. And then I realized, let me renew my card one time while I down there. Because, for a long time, they didn't have the card. So I just gave up on that a couple of years ago or whatnot. But they have them. So that was an easy process right there. You fill out one form.
Yeah.
You give them you could use your passport or you got to give them your old card. Give them that, and I had that within minutes.
Awesome.
I was like, "This is incredible."
Now
so I wanted to give a positive shout out.
Now let me spank them a little bit. I just
Look
remembered.
I
just remembered that I applied for a new card online. I think I did. I applied online, and I didn't get an email yet. I guess I have to go back into the system.
No. Okay, look here.
Anyway,
look here. You can't blame now. Y'all can call us and let me know if I got this wrong, right? Let me know. You can't blame the My Gateway thing on NIB.
Was it My Gateway? I don't remember how I think I did it. They have their own. It's like, anyway, let's take this call. Let's see what Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Yeah, good morning, Jester.
Hey.
Good morning,
Morning.
Diageo.
What'd you say?
Morning.
Yeah, Chester. I would hope this would be a portion of your show that's called Traffic Corner, because I listened to you and DeAngelo mention some of the imbecility that goes on
Yeah.
on the streets, right?
Yeah.
That corner that you spoke about at Robinson Road and Market Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens all the time because my daughter goes to a primary school close to that area,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to use it all the time. But what I wanted to touch on was the lack of enforcement equals endorsement, and they have left us to fend for ourselves on these streets.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's foreigners, but it has to be because even with me, let's say in the city, some of the corners in Baintown and Grandstown, respectively, to the right and left, as you had northbound on Blue Road, etc. Or you can't even. They should keep the signs up because some of them are one way.
Mm-hmm.
I know them, but once in a while it slipped my mind that this one is only a one way. Or you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the problem is one of the problems is the roundabouts. Because I guess I don't think they innovated the traffic rules as they innovated to the dual lane, because people on the roundabout, if you're in the inner lane and then you should just go around, and then you're in the outer lane, you could go. There's no need to go left at Blue Road and the roundabout at AFID. So what happens is if a person is on the outer lane, sometimes they want to go around the roundabout. So you in the inner lane who wants to go roundabout, sometimes they go straight also. And so the person on the outer lane, as you proceed north on Blue Road, they proceed east on the roundabout. So they need to correct it. It's happening all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know, but when I want to go around the roundabout, I make sure I take the inner lane.
Yeah.
You see where the problem lies,
Yeah.
Chester.
Mm-hmm.
And then another problem is a very serious problem. The people have become so impoverished, right? And the contempt for one another, DeAndre. You see it on the road. The lack of you guys don't see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was heading south on East Street the other night. It was in that latest, just around 10. And so a guy was coming. He was coming west. He was coming out of one of those corners, as a corner off East Street. I'm supposed to be West Corner. And so he didn't want to stop or whatever. It was a corner just south of Ross Corner. He didn't want to stop. Like, it was just coming to a complete stop. And he was in a BMW, so I blowed for him, and he blowed back to me, like just to say, tease me.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then also in the inner city, the people have taken over the road. Like, if you would be, don't take the side corners to get to Meadow Street or any street. People in cars would stop and talk and have conversations with people,
Big
and
time.
just have you sit there and then you blow. Like, it's like ridiculous. People would be in the road, they won't move. I don't know why. Negroes are the only people that does this, though. Why is that? Can somebody explain it to me? Because you're paying taxes. You should be on the road. You're paying, like, you cannot have people impeding the roadway, even if it's in the ghetto. I don't know why is it that it's predominantly in the inner city where people stop up conversations, just even the pedestrians and all. I mean, this is madness. They're bananarizing this place, man.
Listen, on that
It
point,
ain't just in the ghetto. Let's do it all over the place.
No, it's all over. But on that particular point right there, I wanted to talk about the folks who park not on the side of the road, but they park in the road. So they've made the road into a parking space. I forget where I was. Now, granted, it don't happen all the time, but I just happened to be out of Arbaki recently for Junkanoo, right, in that area. I never known that you could park on both sides right there. So you only got a one-way situation happening on Arbaki.
Oh, right.
But that's not the only place where that happens.
Yeah.
So when you park on both sides of the road, and this is happening more, and maybe it's just me who's noticed it, in residential areas where you have persons who either don't have enough space on their property for parking, or they have derelict vehicles in their yard, or they have too many persons with vehicles in that house where they have to park on the street or whatnot, but then you park on the street, but your neighbor does the same thing and your other neighbor does the same thing until your two-way now only becomes a one-way to get around, right? And that this becomes normal. And then those vehicles may stop moving at some point, and then they get left there. And so what ends up is that your two-way now always becomes a one-way street. And this is the case I fancy in a lot of places on this one little 21/7 where we live. And I don't understand how we get there. And if you struggling to like get around it, but the people upset. And then also I want to call out, I ain't gonna say their name, but it's a particular company that they built, and this isn't just a service-based company. This is like churches as well that I've noticed, when you build a complex on a plot of land, but you leave nothing for parking, where you expect your clients or your congregants to park?
Yeah.
There's a particular business near where I live. They have no parking for their employees, right? I think they have 2 spots, 2. They have no parking for their employees. The persons have taken up all of the little side space on the next side of the road. The car companies have broke down. The companies' cars, 1 or 2 of them have broken down to the point where they don't even move them anymore, like it propped up,
Wow.
right? Their employees are mandated, and I guess when I say this, people can understand what company I'm talking about or which type of company I'm talking about. Their employees are mandated to come to that headquarters before they're deployed to their stations, right? So the entire residential area, mind you now, and I try to understand how do these places get zoned in this way when you have commercial places in a residential area, where the employees park all through the corner in the front of people's houses and things like that, and you can't pass through there easy.
Wow.
And when they doing the exchange, you can't move.
Wow.
There's no way in, there's no way out of this residential area because of this one company.
Wow. Yeah, that's terrible.
Like, how is that allowed to happen? And then who enforces or who polices this, even if you complain about it? And this happens every single day in a residential area.
That's crazy. Also, the people who park in spaces and leave their bum hanging out in the road, please stop it in 2025.
Well, that part right there, but that car too big.
But they don't care. But they don't care. And they don't even care to find another spot. Like, just don't. Why would you leave your bum in the road?
Well,
when you lose your bumper, it's your fault, and you should be charged for obstructing traffic.
No, but you're
hope-
talking about the ones who's also create their own parking space. I just
They
like
do that
every
too.
time I see that, like I can't get over it. It's where was I? When you go to the food store during the holiday rush, I tried doing my shopping weeks before, but again, when you got children or whatnot, and then they decide last minute to tell you what they need and whatnot, you got to go to the store. I saw spaces where I never saw spaces before, and there was traffic backed up trying to get to the food store. Then I saw this photo and I thought it was like being punked. Somebody parked their car straight across the entryway to get to the food store. Like, not to the building, but to the parking lot itself. And they left the car there and they gone inside and gone shopping. Like,
These people don't care, man.
I just try to figure out, is like, how? But going back to what I think was it Sparky was talking about the amount of cars on the road. How many cars we have on the road? I wonder, is that public information? Could we find that out? Like, how many cars we have on this 21/7?
Plenty.
Do the SD plates, are they sequential? So they'll go from like 0001 to 9,999?
No idea.
Because if that's the case, then shoot, we got over 1,000 SCs on this island.
I'm sure we do. Let's go to our end this portion of the show, Morning Blend, and Morning Blend Business will continue to dissect what's going on in this island.
Oh Lord!
Join us after this break.
House or home, stop by the furniture store that's giving you more. With appliances, furniture, and reclines, whatever you want, we got it all. Promise Furniture, no furniture, we give it you. We make it worthwhile. We make it quality, comfort, and style. Quality and style, yeah. Promise Furniture, no wonder no one we give it you. We make it worthwhile, giving you quality, comfort, and style. Promise Furniture.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unparalleled support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprise, large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the know-how team at 396-1101.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
No more wishing for your Christmas ideas to come true. Get a no-fee loan from RBC and make those ideas a reality.
It's a Christmas wish for all of you. Get a no-fee loan from RBC, it's true.
Finding the right loan for all of your Christmas ideas starts with a conversation. Visit a branch to speak with an advisor today. Offer ends December 31st.
The holidays are here, and Dunkin' is spreading the cheer this season. Let Dunkin' be a part of your celebrations. Warm up with your favorite holiday drinks, grab a box of our famous donuts for your gatherings, or treat someone special to a Dunkin' gift certificate, the gift that always runs on joy. From our Dunkin' family to yours, we wish you a season filled with laughter, love, and a whole latte happiness. Happy holidays! And remember, the Bahamas runs on Dunkin'.
This holiday season, give the gift that lasts a lifetime. Financial freedom with CFAL. Whether you're looking to take the stress out of holiday giving or plan for the future, CFAL has you covered. With our suite of savings products, you can start with a minimal upfront investment and low monthly contributions. Get a jump start with 2025 financial goals with CFAL Savings Express. Or give the little ones a head start with the CFAL Education Plan. You can also secure your own future with the CFAL Blue Marlin Retirement Plan. This holiday season, make your gift count with CFAL, where small savings lead to brighter futures. Visit CFAL.com today to start building wealth so you can live well. Happy holidays from all of us at CFAL.
Esso is celebrating the season of joy and giving away a year of free fuel. To enter, visit any Esso service station and fuel up with $25 or more for a chance to win. Plus, there are other exciting prizes to be won. Just remember to write your name, number, and email address at the back of your receipt and drop it into one of the boxes provided. Terms and conditions apply. Promotion ends January 9th, 2025. So don't forget to enter to win with Esso. Esso and the Esso logo are trademarks or registered trademarks of ExxonMobil Corporation or one of its subsidiaries.
This Christmas, my husband put a smile on my face. He caught the store-wide sale on now at the Paint Place. With brands like Richards and Benjamin Moore, the Paint Place had the perfect color and he was out the door. Now the front room is fabulous. What a surprise! Cranberry red. I couldn't believe my eyes. Make the holidays magical. Get 20% off store-wide during the Christmas sale at the Paint Place. When you've got to paint it right the first time. Net items excluded.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. I'm Chester Robards along with DeAndre Cartwright, and we're making it our business to fix the streets.
You see now you're making it sound like it's more than just the lines on the streets. We're only talking about fixing signage.
Yeah.
Brighton, we need to put the lines back on the streets. Like whoever's responsible for that. What Chester has said is like, bring it back. Let's be better in 2025. Fix it up. I endorse that. Can we please paint the lines back in the road and maybe have a public awareness campaign? Or if it does exist, let's try to do it in a way that people actually can access it. We make so much things viral on WhatsApp, and Bahamian TikTok is very lit, very live, very active. So maybe use that.
Yeah. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners, and we're going to read your text messages here. This person is helping us to understand what is happening at Market Street and Robinson Road.
Okay.
And they say the cars that make a right turn from the left lane on Market Street and Robinson Road, because the white, very faint arrows in the road have both options in that lane. Road traffic department needs to put new arrows there if you want to change that. Okay, I've never seen the arrows, number one. Number two, putting new arrows there, showing which direction you're supposed to go in each lane, is not going to stop these lawbreakers from using that lane to go right.
But if the CCTV thingy works, but I'm sorry, weren't the I thought the license plates were supposed to have some sort of element or something where they could be like tagged or traced or something like that, or am I thinking too advanced?
Yeah, you might be thinking too advanced. I mean, it has a barcode. You're talking about the disc. The license there. It has a barcode, and it's supposed to be able to. It has information if you scan it, but
I need to get close enough to scan it.
Yeah.
Well, could we? Maybe that's something if it doesn't already exist. Like if we see people carrying on badly on the road or whatnot like that, report them. But then also, what happens? And then, how many traffic cops do we have? Do we have stats on that? Let me see if I could find that.
I don't know. This text message says there is a law that makes it illegal to impede the flow of traffic. That law covers a wide range of situations. The people who come out of the Shell gas station on Prince Charles and block 2 lanes of traffic attempting to cross to the opposite side of the street. The people who blocked the roundabout.
Oh, I think I know.
Blocked the roundabout.
I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Prince Charles?
But they say by the Shell, though.
Yeah, by the Shell gas station.
Which one? I feel like there's a couple.
Grace Avenue.
That's what I'm thinking about right there. No, but when you said roundabout, I was like, roundabout there.
No, they were going on to another point.
Oh, okay. No, but that's fair. I saw that the other day. I feel like when I first came back home, I was like, what are the people doing? They go straight over the gas station and go into oncoming traffic again. I was like, what in the world is going on here?
People who park on the sidewalk opposite Doris Johnson on Prince Charles, they do that? Yes, they do, to go to certain businesses over there. Mm-hmm.
What? Is it that? I mean, that plaza has that much.
Prince Charles. Not the plaza. Some of the businesses on that side of the street.
There are businesses on the same side.
You don't need to go to them businesses, clearly.
Oh. I only know about. Hold on. What? I only. Oh.
People who drive 10 miles per hour on Prince Charles. Driving too slowly isn't
or anywhere.
Who sent this message, Dwight?
All right, stop it.
The flow of traffic.
But I have actually measured. Like I've. I was doing that again, like just as because they will soon be at the driving age, right? Like just to show how slow some people drive, right? I'm like, this right here is 20 miles an hour. This is 15 miles an hour, whatnot. Like, because we're driving behind somebody, and I'm like, this is the speed that they're going. And then I think we were discussing like highway speeds and what are the maxes or the minimums, whatnot. Yeah. And I think that's also something that the public we can learn like better for, because there are certain parts of certain highways where it literally says that 45 miles for cars, 30 for the bigger vehicles. But people be driving 10 miles an hour. And I was like, but it literally says that. Yeah. And like, if you look at like the airport road has, I think there's a section that rule applies for 45 miles for cars. And then at a certain point, then it switches down to 30 miles an hour, but you still have people who are driving 10 miles an hour. And I'm like, this is crazy.
They think they're being safe, and they're not. There's speed limits for a reason. And if you're going slower than the speed limit, like a lot slower, you're not being safe. You're actually obstructing traffic.
No, so that's what's happening. That's what's happening.
This person says, "Do you know how much it is for a Surrey ride downtown? I'm again baffled by exactly what tourists are paying for. A tour of dilapidated East Bay Street. Ministry of Tourism needs to examine these tours.
They're giving them a tour. They talking about the history.
Ensure the tourist knows exactly what they're getting before payment, and the fee is not extortion. $250 per person.
What?
To do what?
200 and how much?
Is highway robbery for a tour even? Wait, what? Even
like $2.50. No.
Oh, I think they just mean in general. I don't think they're talking about Surrey rides. $250 per person is highway robbery.
No,
for a
you
tour.
have some taxi people who
Even
do
the
that.
furthest
Sorry,
region
I
of
don't
the
mean to
island.
call out all taxi
Oh, okay.
persons. I'm not calling out all taxi persons, but there are some
Oh.
persons inside the taxi industry
No taxi,
that do
yeah.
rip off
Yeah, they say
tourists.
no taxi driver is entitled to a high salary value for money. They charging $250 per person. They must be thinking this is Puerto Rico or something. What?
Okay, I trying to find how much. I can't find how much
Person
traffic
says-
cops we have.
Great show as usual. That story was what? Great show as usual. Y'all can't drive. Need to cane some of y'all how y'all drive.
Cheapest.
Cable
creepers.
Beach, y'all want me to call the name? Great show as usual. Y'all need to stop littering. Y'all nasty, and y'all need to get caned. Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
This person
How
says, "Hey
much?
Chester, where's Dwight? Tell him he has no reason not to come to work, man. We waiting on him. Our December ain't been the same. How it ain't been the same? Elaborate." This
I
person
think they-
says,
not enough.
"Speaking of leaving your bum bum in the road, DPM's vehicle being parked at the entrance to Bay Street, east of the Hilton, parked where there is no clear parking on the yellow paint."
Listen, that only used to be
the government,
one.
the government cars do park there.
No, listen, it only used to be one government car and it wasn't as bad. Now all of a sudden it's two and then it was three or whatnot like that.
Yeah.
That's why you can't turn proper. And the thing is that when you have so many of them backing all the way
Yeah.
up, then that 2 lane is like a
Comes
1.5.
lane and a half, yeah.
And then you can't make that turn proper. But then again, when we go back to enforcement, who can go tell the DPM them to fix their cars, or the permanent secretary or the
Yeah.
director general or whoever that's done it? Because again, if you got the DPM, the PS, and the DG, because if we see three
Yeah.
cars there, we got to assume
Yeah.
that that's who that is.
I
They
mean,
obstructing. So
they-
technically, could the police go and check them, take move your car?
No, apparently not. But they could just drop them and then their drivers could repark the cars somewhere else. That's an option.
They must walk?
No, they could drop them off and then the drivers go park the car somewhere else.
I mean, sorry, you
Oh,
know.
you mean the drivers must walk?
Yeah, no,
Oh.
yeah. No, but see, listen.
They could get a little electric scooter to take them to
You
the
know what
car
I
and throw it in the
learned?
trunk.
After almost a decade in government, this is how I learned how to keep my sanity. If it makes too much sense, it's not going to happen.
Oh, okay. This person says, "A lot of these traffic lights need to be readjusted if we're going to be turning left on red. You can't turn right on both lanes at Market Street and Robinson Road because there was no turning on red. So it needs to be fixed if there will be turning left on red." There is at Robinson Road and Market Street, right? There is a perpetual green arrow to go left. So because there's never any traffic coming from the opposite direction on Robinson Road, because that's now a one-way when you turn right.
Uh-huh.
So you can always, if you're in the left lane, go left. That will help the flow of traffic for people who are going toward East Street. But there are some clowns who then decide they want to use the left lane to go right, and so they block the traffic that wants to go left because they're waiting for the light to turn green so they could go right. And then the person in the right lane who has the right of way to go right and turn into the far lane then got to look out for them because they come in around their left side when they shouldn't be there. And I'm surprised more accidents don't happen there. But that's because the person in the right lane noted there's a turkey driving next to them about to turn into the side of their car. This person says we should... What does the person say? You know what would help the necessary need for a car? A proper bus system. Don't mention it. And in the immediate, more buses with more bus routes now, please. By the way, what about the new fast food joint on East Street blocking traffic? Fast food
Which one
joint
is that?
on East Street.
East Street. Which part of East Street? East Street are
No
long, you
idea.
know.
They say we should never be driving 60 miles per hour on roads like Prince Charles. I drive 35 per hour and that's safe. We speed too much on this island.
We ain't saying
We sure
speed.
do.
We just saying don't drive 5 miles an hour.
This person says, yes, that parking in front of the Hilton needs to be blocked. I'm sure when he's leaving, he could call the driver. Yes?
It ain't just him, because there's some of them cars who they're clearly not. I don't know. It's like they're not one of the senior persons or whatnot. But it's how I just trying to figure out how it went from one car. Like I feel like they just tested it one day. Be like, okay, let's make this into a parking spot for one car, right? And then about a year or two later, or 3 or 4 years later, they say, oh, let's add another car. Now, all of a sudden, they've gone from 1 car to 2 car to 3 cars. So what they could try to do, just back it all the way up. Oh, you know what they probably trying to do? What they did downtown by Scotia. And I wonder, like, do those businesses, are they entitled to parking spaces in the front of where their buildings are? Or are those considered public spaces? Where they, in the front of Scotia is now, I think that's only empty parking
empty
and stuff like
parking,
that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Which never was the case before.
Right.
So I trying to figure out if we really look at it, how many spaces downtown are allocated to taxis? Like I promise you, one day when I bored, I could go downtown.
A whole bunch. I mean,
majority
they've
of them-
talked about.
The majority of them are for taxis. You try to go find parking downtown, you cannot find a space that is not entitled for a taxi. And the one space downtown, if you're trying to say go to one of them ATMs that's designated, that's not like yellow marked for a taxi or for an MP plate or whatever like that, or I think there's one for the RBDF, or is that the police that's inside that building, because I forget who's in there. But that was also sitting with the taxi. And then I trying to go inside there, the taxi man looking at me like I do something wrong. I was like, but this literally marked for civilian. Like I don't get it. And then we wonder why people don't want to go downtown or whatnot. I can't find parking. I cannot.
Yeah, no, and they were supposed to deal with that plenty times, but I think the taxi lobby is just too great.
You think
in
that's
this
what it is?
country. It seems that way.
Because if you
a lot of things don't happen around here if the taxi people say it shouldn't happen.
I feel like
and they've talked about raising revenue through metered parking downtown, and it never happened.
Oh, so then
you
charge
could see
the
it never
taxi
happened.
persons. Charge the taxi person. Can you do that?
Can you charge the taxi people?
No, but then think about okay, where all they got where sorry, okay, maybe if we do it this way, let me stop again. I am not meaning to pick on the taxi driver. That I ain't trying to do that. Let's look at it this way. If I don't have a taxi plate, where can I park downtown? Like on Bay Street. Where?
Wherever you find a space.
What it is, if there's an average of 20
that's for
spaces,
public
there are only
parking.
2. There are about only 2 out of every 20 spaces.
I want to know how many people who work in the stores downtown take up the parking
That's
for
if
customers.
they could find it.
For customers.
If that's if they could find it. I've seen that also happen like early in the morning. People will park there.
Yeah, they're working in the store. They car there all day. They actually all the public parking spaces downtown should have a time limit that is being checked and watched by a meter maid. That's not a. That's
Right.
what they call them.
Yes.
But that's what they are.
Mhm.
Or we could have meters in those spaces so that the people who work in those stores don't park there, and the customers who want to come down
Right.
for whatever reason you need to go downtown for anymore. Maybe some makeup from some European people to
I feel-
bring your face back to life.
No,
'Cause
but
it's
listen.
it's 6 of them stores downtown.
It's a majority
Cream.
jewelry.
They're selling cream. That's what it is. Some kind of cream.
Listen, it's majority jewelry, makeup, or mass-produced souvenirs that you can find in any country that just has a different lettering
Yeah.
on it.
Yep.
For the most part, and then the true artisans shops, you can't even get to them properly.
No.
And they're not able to compete with what's going on
Mhm.
downtown. I have a very vague memory, and I'm trying to figure out if my mind is playing tricks, and maybe somebody who's listening can either text us or call us. But we didn't have a metering system in some part of this island, and like a public parking somewhere, because
It
I
must have
feel
been plenty years ago.
I feel like as a child I remember like particular areas having meters. Like I feel like I remember this happening. Maybe I was traveling. But I doubt it. I feel like this was common.
I feel like it was a thing too.
Yeah, because I can remember like the silver thing
Yeah.
being about my height or so. And like you put it in, it's like a very vague memory. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But imagine that's also income. We're looking at ways to make income. We can do that. Let's have metered parking. I like that idea. But then again, when you're talking about, you say the taxi lobby, can we find out how many spaces are downtown? Like I'm still curious about that, like that are not marked for taxis.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot though. This person says, "Good morning. The roundabout where Malia used to be, people enter the roundabout using the right lane, which ultimately is the inner lane, once on the roundabout, and they continue west on Cable Beach. That is a awkward, very awkward roundabout.
No, but
Because
there-
it's like a 90, it's like a left turn, because most people don't need to go toward Malia anymore,
Right.
that area.
Right.
So, yeah, essentially, it's awkward. I don't know if it's illegal, but it's awkward.
But
It's an
people do
awkward
that
turn.
on other ones too, though. That's why I feel like where you have doubles and singles lanes, or what could be perceived as like single lane activity and double lane
Right.
spaces.
Yeah.
I don't get that. And if we're talking about that instance, then Wolf Road and Marathon Road going on to that's Jerome Avenue, I think, where it's almost like a double lane going on to the roundabout, right? And so people treat it like it's a double lane roundabout, which maybe it is, maybe it isn't. And then you literally can get into an accident very quickly there.
Where's this again?
Right by the gas station, Scotiabank, and there used to be a car lot, I think it is. Wolf Road, the intersection of Wolf Road, Jerome Avenue, Marathon Road.
Yeah.
Right there. So you have single lane
Yeah,
until
that
you
needs-
get there, and then until you get right before the
Right.
roundabout, then it becomes like a dual lane thing.
Right.
And so because it becomes like a dual
There's
lane,
a little space there that cars decide to go next to each other. So
Right.
one could use the inner, whatever, if there's
right,
an inner.
if there's an inner,
Yeah.
right? Because there's no lines, you can't tell,
Yeah.
right? And so when it's like you come from a single lane to a double waiting area, and then it becomes a double lane roundabout, and that roundabout is not big enough to be no double lane now.
Yeah, it's true. We got some calls coming in now. Let's see who helping us to fix the roads. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend Business.
Hello?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Sorry to call back just now.
It's okay.
You know, I got some other things when we're talking about the licensing authority in regards to liquor licenses and so forth. Now, I knew one time ago it was against the law to have a liquor store next to a church or a school. I know for a fact that used to be against the law. And if you drive around town now and see the amount of Chinese liquor stores that are opening through every little corner over in the Grove, right on Blue Hill Road now, when you turn into Yellow Elder, you call it Yellow Elder Primary School. It's a little kiddie school. Right across the road, there's a Chinese bar that sells liquor and food. Up on Wolf Road, there's a Chinese bar next to Annex Baptist Church on the main Wolf Road. It sells liquor, food, and clothing. Out in the corner where, you know, where Miss Glenna Hannah Martin, headquarters to the Grove there. What's that corner name? Cordo Avenue or something?
Yeah.
Right across the road by that little school. It's a kiddie school now. Next to Miss Hannah headquarters. Right across the road, there's a number house. I think the building used to be called the Wilderness Bar. A number house that sells alcohol. Right next to a kiddie school, a number house park their cars on the sidewalk where the school is. When the children come out of school at 3 o'clock or go into school, they have to walk in the road. But the sidewalk is built for the children walking on the sidewalk when they come and go to school. Cars are parked on the sidewalk on both sides of the street to the number house. And I've even seen policemen park their pretty big white trucks parked there on the sidewalk to go in and play numbers.
Yeah.
These things got to be against the law.
And they got to stop. Yeah.
No, but
Thank you. Yeah.
That's a valid point that we didn't mention. People parking on the sidewalks. And you got to walk in the street.
I was very surprised that this year's Jollification, I don't know if it happens at Wine and Art, on this very beautiful new sidewalk that was built, that's very high, that is super high now, that people were still parking on the sidewalk.
Oh,
and people who want to go to Jollification into the National Trust still had to walk in the road.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of traffic because people trying to get to that event.
Yeah.
And people
but
have
ain't
to
no
walk in
parking.
the street because but it is no parking. That's true. But the sidewalk can't justify,
That's
no
not that it
parking can't
justifies.
justify you parking on the sidewalk.
I mean, not to say that it justifies, but it's parking. This goes back to the original point where people building things or having things in spaces that there are not enough parking.
Well, what 52 say? Lack of enforcement is something. I don't know, a good, nice rhyme. But
Ugh.
but again, and I go back to maybe people don't think about this, but I go back to handicapped people needing to, maybe a wheelchair needs to be on the sidewalk.
Persons with disabilities, we don't say handicapped.
Persons with disabilities needing the sidewalk if they have a wheelchair, right? There's no sidewalk anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And your wheelchair can't fit past the car that's on the sidewalk, so you got to go in the street too. Who gonna be wheeling somebody in the middle of the road? How big is a wheelchair, right? My thing is, we just need to stop this as an inconvenience. It's probably illegal, and nobody treats it that way. Because the police do police that event, but they don't police the sidewalk.
No, they policing on the inside.
Inside it. Oh, okay, that's the vibe. Let's just read some of these text messages, and we'll get to these calls. It's not the taxi lobby; it's the high-ranking politician who holds the taxi plates that's causing the problem.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's how they get the plates.
Mm-hmm. This person says they have the arrows surprisingly showing the direction. Left lane has the straight and left pointing arrows. Right lane has the straight and right pointing arrows. Which?
Where that is, you gotta tell us about.
Yeah, I'm not. Maybe the roundabout they're talking about by Malia. Parking is on Elizabeth Avenue. People just drive on sidewalks. Yes, they do. Buses especially.
Oh yeah.
By the mall, as you head north on Blue Hill Road.
Listen,
they will drive on the sidewalk to get in front of
they will drive
all
anywhere.
the traffic.
They will drive anywhere.
They go through the gas station parking lot. I don't know how these gas stations take it in that area right there.
Listen,
people cut off of Robinson Road, go through the gas station yard to duck at most 20 cars in front of them.
I wish you believe getting here to the station this morning, I was blocked out of turning in because of 2 10A buses.
Wow.
Right in the front of Guardian, because they didn't want to let the other get ahead of them.
Oh,
I was like, but how you know how they end up? One of them miss and pull up to pick up a passenger. That's how I managed to squeeze in.
Wow. Let's take these calls. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend Business.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, what about that stupid roundabout by Lakeview?
The roundabout stupid?
Yeah, the people who designed it stupid. So
which one? Which one?
By Lakeview.
Oh, yeah. They admitted that they did that wrong.
Yeah, when they can fix it though.
When they fix Gladstone Road, that's in the plan to readjust that roundabout.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, next 10, 15 years. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm apologizing on behalf of whoever, because you're right. And the problem is that the westbound lane on John F. Kennedy has kind of a straightaway, so they don't have to go around a roundabout. That's the problem with that area. So they're gonna shift that roundabout so that it works better, because they admit it doesn't work any. And while they fixing Gladstone Road, like me and Dwight always talking about, as you come off Tony Williams, darling, going west on the JFK, make that emerging lane. Please extend that lane, that little turn lane, so that people could stop going around the roundabout, and people in the little lane that you put there to go left gotta wait now because the people behind them causing more traffic. Anyway, it's a nightmare. Let's take some more of these calls coming in. Yeah. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend Business.
Hey, good morning, Chester. Good morning to you guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
You know, there was something that you guys didn't mention. I'm thinking about the KFC on Mackey Street by Commonwealth Mine there.
Yes, you can't pass. You can't pass that road. It's
and
bad.
the one by the Guardian.
No, the one right here.
Yeah,
but also right there by the Guardian too, where the Wendy's and the McDonald's line is be right inside the road too.
Yeah, they block the road, and then the thing is, the road is so narrow where they do the most of these blocking, and then these persons in these wheelchairs, if you notice, they don't use the sidewalk, Chester. They don't. They are actually in the road.
I wonder why that is, though. Maybe there's a good reason.
When there's nothing on the sidewalk, they are still in the road.
Maybe there's a good reason for it. I don't know.
I don't know why they do that. I time and time again, I pull on the side of them and I say, why don't you use the sidewalk? I guess because the sidewalk go up and down and up and down. That's probably why they'd rather not use the sidewalk. But for the most part,
yeah. And sometimes at the end of the sidewalk, there's not a ramp for them. There's just a precipice. A cliff.
Probably. Probably, but yeah, these persons in wheelchairs don't really use the sidewalk. They in the road.
This probably
You know,
good,
so
yeah.
it's so much traffic infractions there that needs to be dealt with. I like I said, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Enforcement is our problem.
Yeah.
There are laws, there are rules, but they are not enforced.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the highest rule breakers are the ones at the top, and because they are at the top, they don't care to enforce it, because enforcing it would mean that they would have to become under control. They would have to be under that also. So they just leave it alone and turn a blind eye.
Yeah. Thank you. 52 said enforcement is endorsement, or lack of enforcement is endorsement.
There you
Lack
go.
of enforcement. I think that's what he said. That was
So
a
you
good one.
starting up the public awareness campaign right now, Chester? We nominate you.
Not me. I want to be the traffic czar. Let's take this
Listen, in
call.
25, they come to you with that job for you. You can take it?
Yeah, taking it. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend Business.
Morning to Morning Blend.
Good morning.
And I hope to see you both in the new year as well.
Yes, we hope to hear from you as well.
No, I call in because once pavement was mentioned, the sidewalk, that's also a concern. So I want also to register my disgust of vehicles on sidewalks and persons having to use the road or squeeze between the vehicle and the wall or the fence of a person's property to get by.
Yeah.
Now, regarding the disabled wheelchairs on the road, it's also because of the unevenness of the sidewalk. The sidewalk should be continuously at the same level, and it will be properly used. But then we also need to have people get off of the sidewalk. Nobody's supposed to be parked on the sidewalk.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, let's take this next call, yeah. Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend.
Yes, good morning, Chester. Good morning, Ms. Cartwright.
Good morning.
Johnson. You know, Chester, I just listened most of the morning, and even for the whole of this year. And many of the problems in our country is just a matter of prioritizing and compartmentalizing them. The thing about it is that we just need a government that understands the use of big data and even artificial intelligence. And it can be spread out across the entire archipelago as to the needs of the country, assess costs, assess timetables, assess logistics for execution, what is needed. The country just basically needs a reset as to exactly what does it need to have done, no matter how small it is. And even some of the things that you guys speak about, like having insurance or having a tag or having these different things are small fixes. You know, in fact, if you just look at the tags and if the insurance company were to invoke a database of the insured and the cars that's matching the insurances in it, I can pull up in the back of a car with a policeman and punch in a tag and tell you whether or not they have insurance. You know, the insurance company can notify them when insurance expired. It's so many different things that technology allows us to do when we talk about the roads that needs to be designed. You know, I mean, the biggest thing about it is, though, which technology also addresses, is the need for the growth of the economy. All of these things requires money, capitalization, taxation on the people. And so if the economy doesn't have an inclusive in ownership and opportunity economy, so that the individuals who are being taxed can pay taxes, not increasing taxes. You know, if you're getting 10% from me and I'm making $20,000, that's $2,000. If you're getting 10% from me and I'm making $30,000, that's $3,000. And so the growth of economy has to be inclusive. But when you catalog and categorize these different things, from the roads to the schools to whatever it is that we have to be done. But when you also have transparency, accountability, freedom of information, integrity, and these different things, the information is available there for even when government does do it. Private sector or individuals who may enter into the data business may do it. And so we just need to embrace the 21st century, and we need a government that understands that we are 24 years into the 21st century as of January 1st. And we have the tools out there. It's being used. We are a small demographic, a small country, so that gives us even a greater advantage as comparative to England or United States or Canada or the U.S. and other different things. And so we just need to choose a government. And so just let me put this plug there. And ending, only Michael Pintard and the Free National Movement is next in line that has the capability of doing all of this. And I challenge anyone else to say that we can't and meet in the public space for that discussion. Thank you much.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I always say, boy, we be so behind with certain things. But yeah, hopefully we catch up to the world in certain instances. This person says, I don't use the left lane on JFK because it hurts my neck to keep looking right for oncoming traffic. Something is wrong with the angle of that road. It just doesn't continue. That's the problem. If it was a merging lane, you wouldn't have to look right and break your neck. When you going on to JFK from Tonic Williams by the Shell roundabout there.
Right.
Not Shell gas station, the big Shell. Okay. Yeah. So right before Gladstone Road.
Okay.
The one before Gladstone Road if you're heading west.
That.
So there's a little left turn lane that you could go, and then you could either take the other two lanes to go up through West Ridge or whatever that ridge is. But the lane just needs to continue to go so that you can use your side view mirrors and your rear view mirror to decide when to move into that lane. Instead of craning your neck, and it does hurt for real. You really got to be looking to see if anything's coming before you pull into that lane. So that is rough. Yes, I agree with you. Person says they need to cane. I bet you would drive better then.
Okay, they're really going after this cane.
They really want caning to happen. Person says, what about Popeyes on Maggie Street? My goodness, I sat in traffic in the side corner. Come to find out it was the drive-through line. I was never so upset. What is this traffic? People waiting for chicken?
No, but again, going back to my initial point where these businesses that are offering services or products or whatnot, churches as well, where they...
Chicken?
No,
Oh.
I'm talking about where they build out on almost the entire property.
Yeah.
So there's not much parking, or in the case of the drive-throughs, the drive-through just isn't as long as it needs to be.
Yeah, I was kidding. I know there's no Church's chicken here.
Well, yeah. But the thing is, but even with the churches, what if, and this is me just being devil's advocate or just being mischievous today, what if businesses that surround churches that don't have sufficient parking actually all opened on Sunday? Like, what if they wanted to actually conduct business on a Sunday, or if they needed to conduct business on a Sunday or have a meeting on a Sunday, where the churches in that area are entitled or feel entitled, or those congregants feel entitled to those spaces?
Yeah.
There was a particular quote unquote mega church I went to, I think maybe about 2 months ago or so. They built this monstrosity. I can't call it anything else. And again, it's a Church of God, so it's not the purpose of the church I have an issue with. I'm an avid Christian, right? But it's like, why would you build such a large building on a property with no parking around it?
Yeah.
And then literally every business space, even residences inside the area, whatnot like that, are blocked by congregants' vehicles. And then there's a particular church on one of them streets that we named inside a particular plaza that has too many congregants at this point. I made to understand that it ain't even the police that is be directing traffic on JFK. It is be one of the congregants trying to direct traffic on JFK.
Wow.
And so I've been told, don't try going that area anywhere between 10 and 1 on a Sunday because the traffic is insane. How did it get to that point? And why is that okay?
It's a good call to worship there. Let's take this call coming in, yeah? Good morning, caller. Welcome to Morning Blend Business.
Morning. Yeah, your caller, previous Mr. Dara, man. I had respect for him until he turned everything political, man. What the hell? Doing the same thing over and over is a sign of what? And expecting different results is a sign of what?
Repetition?
Insanity, right?
No, it's insanity. There's a quote, but I think you know.
It's insanity. So what are you talking about the F&M, man? Man, tell him stop catch yourself, man. I had respect him until he started talking about that, man.
You want the old critical thinker back here? Okay.
I mean, I don't know what he used, but data, this and data, everything is data, yeah. But when he is very so good that he's going off track, man.
Right.
Tell him the arrow to the left is to go left, an hour to the right is to go right. Stay in one of them, man. Stop switching up.
Yeah, I hear
I think
that.
it's politics.
All right, appreciate it. Let's see, want the old man back. All right, just whoa. This person says, Chester, there is a law that says you must not reverse into the street. Is there a law? A law? A law? A law? You got to send me that law. You got to like copy and paste that law. I don't know about that law. A law that says you must not reverse into the street. Well, 2/3 of our businesses would be affected if we obey this law. Our roads are just not built for our advancement and the amount of cars that are on our streets. Most roundabouts, by the way, need to be replaced with properly timed lights. By the way, have you ever tried getting into Southwest Plaza? Yes, plenty times. And it is scary. It is a nerve-wracking ordeal.
To get in, to get out.
To get in, to get out, it is.
Even on the inside, like I've been overtaken.
Well, people see that's just people being
I've been overtaken. And I was like, I tried to follow the people in the front of me. How you could get blow off? How you could get blow off the side of the road in Southwest?
In Southwest Plaza, inside the parking lot.
I don't understand that.
Let's take this break for the morning business report and morning blend business. We'll return on the other side.
This holiday season, give the gift that lasts a lifetime. Financial freedom with CFAL. Whether you're looking to take the stress out of holiday giving or plan for the future, CFAL has you covered. With our suite of savings products, you can start with a minimal upfront investment and low monthly contributions. Get a jump start with 2025 financial goals with CFAL Savings Express. Or give the little ones a head start with the CFAL Education Plan. You can also secure your own future with the CFAL Blue Marlin Retirement Plan. This holiday season, make your gift count with CFAL, where small savings lead to brighter futures. Visit CFAL.com today to start building wealth so you can live well. Have all of us at CFAL.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
This Christmas, Fidelity Bank is still the one. One easy monthly payment, the only one with a quick approval, and one chance to win an extra $5,000 in cash. Apply for a personal loan today for your chance to win big. Call 356-7764 for more details and make that move to Fidelity Bank today.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This holiday season, give the gift that lasts a lifetime. Financial freedom with CFAL. Whether you're looking to take the stress out of holiday giving or plan for the future, CFAL has you covered. With our suite of savings products, you can start with a minimal upfront investment and low monthly contributions. Get a jump start with 2025 financial goals with CFAL Savings Express. Or give the little ones a head start with the CFAL Education Plan. You can also secure your own future with the CFAL Blue Marlin Retirement Plan. This holiday season, make your gift count with CFAL, where small savings lead to brighter futures. Visit CFAL.com today to start building wealth so you can live well. Happy holidays from all of us at CFAL.
Hello? Linda, this is me. Listen, I think that this Christmas, you should really get in the spirit of things. I mean, apart from the great prices, I think your customers would like to see more of you. So I think that you should greet your customers, some in the morning, some in the afternoon. I don't expect you to be there all day. Now listen. Now, you know red is the color of Christmas. So I think that you should be in a red tuxedo. You would be saying something. Your customers would really feel like Santa Claus. Reach!
cotton. He can wear that red suit this Christmas. Sale ends December 21st.
Double the holidays with Scotiabank, and you could win your share of $28,000 this Christmas. Just spend $300 or more on your Scotiabank credit card, and you could be the lucky first prize winner of $13,000, or the second prize winner of $8,000, or the third prize winner of $5,000. Win big and claim your share of $28,000 when you shop with Scotiabank this Christmas. Promotion ends January 27, 2025. Draw date February 17, 2025. Visit bs.scotiabank for more information. Conditions apply.
And it's time for your morning business report brought to you by C-File. Immediate past president of the Bahamas Hotel and Tourism Association, Robert Sandy Sands, told Guardian Business yesterday that based on the booking pace for the first quarter of 2025, next year's stopover visitor numbers could be as robust as in 2023, adding that the tally in 2024 is unlikely to reach the levels recorded in 2023. Sands said weather systems that affected Florida, the country's largest source market, and the U.S. elections were largely to blame for a fall-off in tourist numbers, given that 2024 started off strong. He explained that following the U.S. elections, visitor numbers began to trend upward again. And the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority will more than double its budget for the natural gas sector for 2025, along with the agency's overall budget increasing by $1.567 million. The regulator's recently released annual draft plan for 2025 revealed that it will increase its budget for natural gas, the newest regulated sector, from $610,570 in 2024 to $1.386 million for 2025. The natural gas sector's largest line item for professional services is expected to grow from $310,300 in 2024 to $535,781 in 2025. Professional services are explained as costs associated with allocations to cover the cost of consultancy services, establishing the framework, guidelines, and reviews of licensing documents. And two of the Bahamas' private islands are recognized as top cruise spots. Two of the Bahamas' private island destinations have received top honors as Best Cruise Line Private Island of 2024, according to cruise news website Cruise Hive. A Cruise Hive article on Best Private Islands explains that Royal Caribbean's Perfect Day at Coco Cay was named Best Cruise Line Private Island of 2024, followed by Half Moon Cay, recently renamed Relaxaway Half Moon Cay, which is used exclusively by Carnival Cruise Line and Holland America Line. According to the article, this is the fourth time in a row Coco Cay has won the honor. Overseas, value was in vogue in 2024. Shoppers and restaurant patrons in the U.S. were choosy about where and how to spend their money as they wrestled with high housing costs and food prices. Well-heeled customers traded down to Walmart and Aldi. Diners opted for fast food or home cooking instead of sit-down restaurants. Department stores struggled as buyers shopped online or at cheaper chains like H&M. Residents also moved away from buying furniture or investing in expensive renovations, opting to refresh their homes with inexpensive items like frames and candles. Those shifts changed the buying and eating landscape in 2024. As of December 20th, Core Site Research tracked 48 retail bankruptcies in the U.S. compared with 25 during the same period a year ago, and at least 22 restaurant chains filed for bankruptcy this year, the highest number since 2020, according to Bankruptcy Data, a company that tracks filings. That's your morning business report, brought to you by C-File, growing wealth for future generations.
7, 8, please don't be too late. Still counting, 9, 10, this jamming once again. 4, 3, 2, 1, this party you can done at the center. The center. The center. The center, 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 center. The center. The center. The center, 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 center. Oh, come on. Yes, man. Let's go.
Welcome back to Morning Blend Business here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Either the producer trying to get us hyped up for tomorrow, New Year's Eve,
Listen, this is New Year's Eve.
or that song was about people who drive in double lane roads in the center.
I know. I think that's a setup, because in the last 5 minutes, you want us, Mr. Producer, you want us to perk up inside here? Listen, I already have my coffee. What you trying? I felt like it was like back in the day.
So
at a family party at the holidays and whatnot like that.
I heard that song in so long.
Listen, I want y'all to know that my good Long Island people used to be playing songs like that. That's what I grew up off.
Now I'm going to try to go to Long Island Regatta for the first time in my life this year.
You should.
2025.
Listen,
Make that a priority.
It's lots of fun. It's lots of fun.
You hear me, family and wife of family? We going to Long Island Regatta.
So just to know, now listen.
Family of wife
Listen.
of family.
That's your family-in-law. You know, gotta buy your tickets and thing and whatnot. Like airplane tickets gotta be bought by January, February, or else
What?
you can miss out. Yeah.
For Long Island Regatta?
For Long Island Regatta, and you gotta book your car from around that time. You could reserve it. You gotta pay for it. And then where you gotta stay. You know what people do? They actually reserve their place to stay from the year before. Yeah. So, as I tell people,
My friend got a new coffee shop down there in Salt Pond, so maybe I could sleep
they
on the
finally
porch.
opened it. Okay, I hear that. I hear that too. Your mommy been telling me about that from time. So it finally opened because I looking at it. I've been waiting for
Big
that
up,
open.
Rachel.
I've been waiting for that because her mom always telling me about it, right? But it wasn't open when I went home last, so I was like, okay, when I passed through, and then my mother is talking about it, and this is great.
Yeah.
They actually have a new tea place open in my maternal settlement as well, by one of my cousins. It's called Gypsies.
Okay.
So it's like lots of different food places. There's
Yeah.
actually a sub place when you
in
go
Long
out.
Island?
Yeah. So you can
Really?
get not Subway obviously, but like
Right.
healthy stuff.
Oh, cool.
Closer
like
to the north.
I
Yeah,
like
you got
it.
options. You got options when you
Nice.
go home.
That's what I had weird feelings about Long Island back in my past, but since I spent some time there 2 years ago, it wasn't last year, right?
Yeah.
I've come to enjoy the place.
Yeah, there you go. Listen, I was about to start looking while we was in here, but I was like, let me not get excited because I was like, I want to see if there are any flights to get home for the holiday. But, that's why I said you have to book out your flight because, Bahamas Air, until they sort this out, even before they had this, that the public knew about the whole flight situation, not having enough planes, whatever, Long Island shares a flight with St. Sal. So it's very difficult to get a seat to get in and out of Long Island. So that's why I say if you go in, you need to make sure get that. But you could also wait, which I don't recommend, when Bahamas Air puts on the extra flights.
Oh, okay.
But I don't ever recommend that because you don't know if they will or will not.
Yeah.
Because, it's a government agency and sometimes they like and sometimes they don't like Long Island. That's me speaking my personal opinion. That does not reflect the Long Island Sailing Association or the Long Islanders Association, of which I'm both a proud member of. Those comments before were in my personal capacity.
You what now? What? You're doing a lot.
Listen, I am
You
a
got a lot going on.
card-carrying member. I'm a proud Long Island woman.
Okay. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all. I am a proud Suvian. You're a cold boy. Your family and people be cold.
Listen, I fancy, everybody got connections to some family island, and I feel like if we actually strengthened our connections and didn't lose touch with our roots to that point, then our family islands would be maybe a little bit better off, because then you have the transplant thing going on, where in my case, my parents would have migrated here. And, there's a thing such as domestic migration, internal migration people.
Yeah.
But then they also instilled in me a love for our home island.
Yeah.
So what if more persons were like that? where you actually want to invest in your home island, visit back, like you had to care for your family island, for your home island.
Yeah.
But then we all come here and it's like,
yeah, that's true.
you forget.
Hopefully that changes soon.
We'll see. I think it depends on the person.
Speaking of which, they declared a state of emergency in my third island home of Trinidad and Tobago because of how bad the crime is over there. I mean,
oh my goodness.
So we got to pray for them.
Gotta pray for
I
our
hope
attorneys.
all of my people. So the crime over there is crazy. The types of craziness they do over there.
Boy, as much as we got to say things about our Bahama
Yeah.
land or whatnot, when you
Well-
compare it to other places,
Well, they took it seriously enough to declare a state of emergency, and I hope we declare that we have a emergency. Well, we don't have to declare a state of emergency, but we should declare that we have an emergency when it comes to
no, but
crime.
then that first goes with acknowledging that we have a problem, and
I think we have a problem.
Responsibility and accountability isn't our strong suit.
Absolutely not.
So yeah.
That's our show for this morning. DeAndre Cartwright, thank you so much. Always a pleasure being with you.
Always a pleasure being with you, Chester Robards. Thank
And-
you for being here.
Happy New Year if I don't see you tomorrow.
Yes, we will be back to join Dwight tomorrow as we round out 2024.
Maybe Dwight will be back. On the Clock with Aaron Green is up next. Be good to each other. God bless. We love you, Bahamas. Take care.
Bye.
Center. Johnny Center. The center, 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 center. What center? The center. The center. Johnny Center. The center, 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 center. Oh, come on. Yes, man. Let's go. Huh. What center? What center? What center? Baby, you say I can't go out with you.
This is Guardian 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.